everybody to the Elite Mob podcast. Joined today by Mob Miz. He'll be back here in a second. And then, of course, me, Took Timbo. We're going to be talking about a couple different AEW topics. A topic that happened over with Rev Pro about Mercedes Moné. We're going to go over a bunch of different things. Make sure to subscribe and like our YouTube videos. We'd really appreciate that. And if you're on X viewing this, please share. Trying to gain some more viewers, to be honest with you. So would really appreciate any shares or likes or anything. So we'd appreciate that. Now, our first topic of discussion today is going to be about would you like to see Bailey go to AEW? And if not, our live chat should be open now. Go ahead and jump on that. Give us some of your opinions. Some of them off while we wait on Mob Miz to come back.
I'll be here 1 second. I dropped that in the group chat for you too.
Okay. I'm going to jump on here and share real quick. Just bear with us. Maybe just one more minute.
We're ready to go. So you can drop that off, share. What's up, everybody? There's already a couple of people in here. There's 3 people in here. Salute to y'all. The chat's open the whole time. So no delays on chats. Feel free to get them in. We're just sending the link out a little bit. Please, if you've seen the link, repost it. Tell people to tune in. Like you said, let help us get our subscribers up. Let's get them on this elite wave. But I'm ready to start whenever you are, Brody. No rush.
All right. No, I already brought up the first topic. Would you like to see Bailey in AEW? And I told him if you want to share your opinion, please type in the private chat for us, and we'll go over it. So I'm just going to share this real quick, and I'll be good to go.
Do you want me to start on the Bailey topic, and you could jump in after you're done with that?
Yeah.
Let me get some space from this computer. I feel like it's blowing off heat at me. So first thing that I'm gonna say is yes, and for a couple of reasons. I'm not gonna get into that. I feel that there's been a lot of complaints over it being pulled over Mania. That wouldn't necessarily be my reasoning for wanting an AEW. I'm gonna make it simple. That's Sasha. Oh, excuse me. That's Mercedes' best friend, right? When you get the opportunity to go do what you love with your best friend, that's a thumbs up for me. So that would be what it is. I think that it's more likely Bailey goes and joins her, especially after looking at that interview. I know there was a few sensitive things where she specifically said she didn't want to disrespect the WWE, but it kind of just gave me the feeling that she was letting the WWE Nation or universe know. My opinion doesn't mean things can't change.
Yeah. She's still got a year and a half left to go, so it's going to be a long time before we even see her over there. But
I just kind of think that. Shout out to 11 people in there now. What I took that as, and not factual, just I took that as when Ricochet let them know he was leaving a lot earlier than he was leaving.
Yeah,
I think that WWE officials, personally, when they looked at that, that's kind of what they got. That she was saying she's going to join her best friend. But I also would say she said a couple of things I don't necessarily look at to be true. But I'll also give the breakdown why I said it. When she said she's not on the level of a Becky Lynch or Charlotte, she is.
She definitely is.
She absolutely is. So reason why I bring that up is because I feel like she did play the great WWE role model in bigging up them in certain things, but I also feel that's why I believe she's leaving. Like that, it was like kind of like, let me give you our shout outs, and I'm not disgruntled, but I'm letting you know I'm going to see Mercedes, and you know that.
I think Bailey will thrive in AEW too. to be honest with Mercedes Moné. So uh, can't wait. I mean, we got over a year and a half, so it's going to be a while. But
I don't think Bailey will have trouble being successful anyway.
uh,
Little
uh,
mind boggles. She's not more successful where she's at. But I don't think she'll have trouble where she goes.
her in AEW, we could see a side of her that we have never seen before too.
Yeah,
A whole different character type or something. So
I agree.
I think there's something there.
Because between watching the two Baileys, you don't really know which one is her, right? Is she the happy-go-lucky Bailey buddies, or is she the devious, Doc Bailey that we've seen little signs of? So when they do get the ability to do their own thing, not
Yeah,
all of them, but someone that talented probably will find the best median in between those two characters.
yeah. Who knows? Maybe we'll see it one day. Maybe we won't. But
I just say, if it's me, what we'll call these from now on, and this is on the fly. We didn't She gets an orange casting.
honors casting.
An orange casting. A thumbs up.
Oh, an orange casting.
Yep. She gets an orange casting. She gets
For
a
sure.
thumbs up to go to AEW. But I'll also be happy if she stays where she's at. I would love to see her in AEW though.
Yeah. Cool. Right. You want to start talking about the AEW All In picture? What we think is going to go down?
I'm gonna feed off your energy in this one. So I wanna know what you got going on, and I'll let you know, anything that I think on top of that. And we just had a few more followers jump in. Shout out to the new followers that jumped in. The chat message is open. I know sometimes we're a little late on that. We will not be late today. As soon as you drop it, I promise you we will answer your questions. So get them over.
Yeah.
But shoot, I'm gonna follow you, my brother.
Well, the build up to AEW All In, I think, is about to start within a couple of weeks. And of course, Double or Nothing. It's really after Double or Nothing. It's really going to kick off. But man, I just can't wait to see what Tony's got cooking. Man, he's been cooking all year long. I'm sure he's got something big planned for All In, and I just don't know what it is yet.
Quiet.
Yeah.
And right now, I feel like a quiet Tony is more dangerous than the Tony that was arguing with people online. So I want to see it too.
Yeah, Tony Khan has chilled out from the online presence a little bit, which is good for him. He don't need to.
I think a lot of pressure got taken off his shoulders.
Yeah, he don't need to explain himself all the time. He's doing a good job. So
yeah,
anyways, All In build up. Tickets are moving finally in a good direction.
Yep.
It was kind of staying still there for a little bit, but they're starting to pick up again. So I hope they have a sold out show for what they got.
Yeah, I had no question. I think that by the time it's showtime, it'll be sold out.
Yeah,
I believe so.
A couple of matches I think are going to happen. I believe that we're getting Hangman versus John Moxley. Of course, this is nothing set in stone of what I'm saying. That's where I feel like it's going, based off my personal views. So
I wouldn't disagree. I would say flip a coin. I don't think there's like no definitive direction to know who's gonna win. So I would say flip a coin. I mean, I wouldn't argue against Hangman. I also wouldn't argue against the latter. So I mean,
yeah.
I
Could
definitely
be Will Ospreay too. We don't know.
Yeah, that's why I said I couldn't be one of those fans that attack you. Like I know for a fact it's not gonna be him. So yeah, I have
don't know for a fact. Nobody knows for a fact yet.
not when it comes to wrestling. You never know for a fact. But I don't even want to say his name for the strength of controversy, but I'm gonna.
Okay.
CM Punk is back in the WWE. Nothing is impossible.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's so we anybody that thinks that they could speak in definitives when it comes to wrestling, you're delusional.
Yeah, sure. Where do you see the World Tag Team Championship going? You think anything set yet? Maybe something to do with MJF, obviously. Maybe.
Um, I think that they got a gem here that they might not have known in the beginning, similar to Cole and MJF, that was rumored not to be as extensive as it went, but
Yeah, it went on for longer. Yeah.
um, I think that I don't see the Syndicate losing the belts before All In.
No.
So
Yeah.
but I think there's a few different ways they could go, right? Not all of them, in my eyes, would really be um genuine believable competition, right?
Hmm.
There is a few ways. Cage is working out again. I mean, he got surgery
Yep.
and he's back in the gym.
Cool.
So Brian Cage. So
Okay. Yeah.
I would I would prefer machines to be, you know, because they got backtracked, I believe, due to that injury. So if he could get healthy enough, that would be where I would go personally. Um,
Yeah.
if not,
For All In. Yeah.
I mean, just build up, yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not like build it up and send them for All In. They're a real believable force. The the um the ace would be, can we get Christian and Edge back together before then?
Yeah. I mean that's my backup plan right
Yes,
there, or the one I want. Yeah.
yeah, that I would prefer that too as the Brood. I continue to
Yeah.
say this, but um, I would prefer to see Christian keep do ominous stuff to Nick Wayne to try to get him to lose the belt and eventually turn to the dark side and be the Brood again.
Right.
And Gangrel manage them, maybe wrestle sometimes, but really manage the tag team. And them be the ones to go take the titles. I'm just skeptical if you could put in the right story in the right amount of time, because I don't want a Brood story rushed.
No, that's a good build. Like, hopefully not just like a couple weeks before the
Yeah,
event.
so that's the only, I mean, thing I would say against that. If you gotta rush it with Edge and Christian, and not even saying they want to do that, but if you
Yeah,
do want to put them back together and do something, whether it's the Brood or just put them back together, um,
just hold it for the next pay per view.
yeah,
Yeah,
I would prefer a big build for the Murder Machines, a big spot for Archer and Cage. I wouldn't even mind them winning, you know?
yeah. I
Uh,
just hope
yeah,
Archer picks up some wins though.
yeah,
I don't want to see him lose.
yeah. But my thing is, no matter who, say the match is Murder Machines versus the Hurt Syndicate, it doesn't matter to me who wins if you're bringing the Brood next. Both of them work, you know. Like so, uh, remember I've been advocating to get Archer and Cage out the Callis family. I want them to be like more Mad Maxes, like more Mad Max ish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah.
Couple
More
is um
apocalyptic type.
I think they would have been dope if you would have, remember when they put Lance Archer with the Righteous,
Yeah.
but it never looked fully sold in. It's like 1 week he matched with them, the next week he didn't. He walked out before them or he walked out after them. It was never synergy like how the Righteous was in Ring of Honor when they had oh my God, I can't think of her name and I love her. Um oh my God, something with a V. But they had like Bateman. They had, I think her name might be Vita something. But they had her. They had someone else, and they come out together, and they're like a cult. I would
Mm.
have loved to see Lance Archer really embrace that, come out. But the thing is this: you could be the monster. Vincent is the leader. He got
Yeah.
the cult image and looked to him like the, you know. So if you would have took Lance Archer, Brian Cage, put them with the Righteous, and made them like a cult, like anarchy cult type thing, that works perfect. You pick which
Yeah.
ones you want to do single stuff like that. I just
Yeah.
don't think that you need them in the Callis family, and I think that they're absorbing losses they don't necessarily need. Where if you
Exactly.
put them somewhere else, they can win a lot of those matches. Um,
Right.
but
If they're
something
gonna
like,
win the titles, they need some wins under their belt.
Yeah,
Sure.
like, let them come out, wrestle the Hurt Syndicate, right? Let Vincent and Dutch come out and help them get the win. You know,
Maybe.
they
Yeah.
join. I'm not saying it, but in
Yeah.
general, what I mean is, if you don't want to hurt the Hurt Syndicate, point intended or pun intended,
Make
you
them cheat to win it.
you
Yeah.
can do other things to do that.
Yeah.
But either one of those teams will work going against Edge or Christian. I'll be fine with it. I just don't want to see a bad build with a non-believable team going against the Hurt Syndicate. They're too devastating to just believe anybody can beat them.
Right. I agree. Let's talk about a rumor that's been going around for quite a while now, which is Kenny Omega versus Okada at All In. I mean, I hope we get that match. Since I'm going to be there, that would be an awesome match to see live. But it's all been rumor, of course. There have been some teases on TV, but I mean, I'd really like that match to happen. Now I'm more agreeing with it. I used to not really want it because they both had championship belts. I didn't really want them to combine those two for
I
some
want the
reason.
invitation, but I want the match.
Yeah, I want the match for sure. Yeah. So that match will feed generations.
How did your stance? How was your stance today on the unification of the titles?
Stance today changed. I I think now since we're getting that match, I'm more okay with it. If we're getting that match, should
I
I say?
still want to see one of those titles disappear. I'm never gonna say I'm against the match. You could give
Yeah.
it 30 days in a row. I'll be happy all 30 days. Um, so it's not the match. I like those two belts. I think they have Okada's belt probably a little bit less meaning because how they did it. Um, the international belt I think is prestige already.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would want to unify
Right, and you got the Continental Classic too for the Continental
that,
Championship.
and that's
So
why the part that kind of doesn't I don't understand because I could see unifying it because the Continental Championship hasn't been much of a thing, right? And it also had in the beginning the way it came out and the belts Eddie had with it, it didn't. It just kind of was awkward in the beginning. People was a little confused by it, right?
yeah.
But the fact is, a Continental Championship, so it's defended every year, right?
Hmm.
Gives it prestige, at least somewhat, in my mind, because I want to see that. I love the Continental Classic. It's big for me. I think since it came out, it's been great. I think it will only get better. So I don't want to see that belt leave. But the other belt, I think, is better. So I don't want the other belt to leave. So
No,
it
right.
just doesn't. I would prefer just don't show me any Ring of Honor title and don't get rid of any AEW title. On AEW television. Um,
Correct. Yeah.
but
That
the
was my thing with it back then. Before I kind of, changed my mind, I was thinking the same thing. I don't want the titles to be combined.
yeah, nothing wrong with your stance changing or being more lenient to it. I still feel the same way on that. I don't think they need to do anything with those titles. If I was to get rid of a title and I'm not even gonna pick one, it just wouldn't be either one of those titles. I'd be trying to push to make them as prestige as I can and maybe get rid of a different title. And I don't even know which one that would be, but I don't think it would be those titles.
I don't think AEW needs to really get rid of any titles right now, unless I
Yeah.
mean, if they add another show or something or an hour to one of these shows, I'd say yeah, bring in another. But right now, I don't really want to see any of them go away. Uh, and I'm one
Personally,
of those people that don't count ROH as AEW titles. They're
yeah.
totally
No,
separate for me.
I don't need that. I don't have a problem with it. What the thing is, what I mean for like other people that do, if you
Yeah,
took them off of the television show, it would be, to some people that say there's so many titles, even though those ain't technically AEW titles.
just
Because
keep them on ROH. Yeah,
yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like it's all right if someone's competing for an AEW title and
right.
they have an ROH title and they're coming out with it. It's like whatever, you have them in the match. But I would prefer you avoid that altogether. Like
Yeah,
whether you're gonna put those Ring of Honor titles on, might need to just stay in Ring of Honor for a little bit. and use it more like you don't gotta call them D leagues or developmental or try to like look down on them because there might be older wrestlers there, right? But
Right.
you're the indies for AEW. That's what you are. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You're respected, but you're the indies. So for you to move up, you got to get rid of those titles. Like get rid of it and come on up to AEW. But the cross branding of it sometimes I think is just a little bit too much for people, and it gives haters something to hate on. You know.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah, right. That's a big like point that they try to make is that AEW has too many titles, but they'll sit there and count the ROH titles with it, which that doesn't make sense because they're
I
two
mean,
different
and
things.
then they'll count.
It's owned by the same man.
Bro, then they'll count CMLL titles or AAA when they was there with
You
them
know?
and a bunch of other ones, right? But here's the reality of it, right? We know those ain't AEW titles. They are being showcased on the TV show, which is helping out the promotion. But instead of, certain fans, I'm talking about only fans now, and this goes both ways, right? Because there's some crazy AEW only fans. There's a lot more crazy WWE only fans because there's, a lot more fans, 50 years worth of fans, right? Um, so when you look at the things like this, first of all, you got to understand where the complaint is going to come from mostly, who has more fans,
Yeah, sure.
WWE, right? So
Yeah,
if AEW brings a CMLL championship onto their platform, instead of everybody saying this is a good look for CMLL, even if it was a million broadcast show, not saying they all are, but not gonna argue ratings with people. Say they do. You don't hear that wide variety of fans say AEW just helped out New Japan. AEW put a CMLO or Rev Pro or whatever
yeah,
type it is on their brand, right?
yeah,
But, but, I bet you, and this ain't a jab, I'm just being honest, don't shoot the messenger. When AAA starts bringing their titles that WWE, they're gonna act like WWE is doing them a favor. Which,
yeah,
all right, cool, you're the bigger promotion, but aren't they both favors? One of them is actually helping the company and not asking them to sell. One of them bought you and is gonna bring the titles over, but you're gonna complain about the company that's actually helping another company versus the one that bought the other company. And that's where the delusional part comes in,
yeah.
right? Because people will tell you they helped AAA, even though they didn't help them, they bought them.
They
That's not
bought. Yeah, that's totally different.
it's not the same. Buying and helping is not the same thing. Like when people
Uh,
posted those
our
things, go ahead.
So Tony bought ROH, but ROH had already been pulled off TV and everything. He
I
saved that company literally.
He saved them.
Yeah,
He saved them because
yeah,
they was basically bankrupt, right?
yeah,
Um, but when it comes to New Japan, CMLL,
yeah,
TNA, when he was TNA, he could have bought them. He didn't. He also got offered networks that he turned down that other companies picked up. He's
yeah.
not greedy.
The CW. Yeah,
He's
yeah,
not greedy. You can see he's not greedy like everybody else, right?
right.
And this is the part that people don't want to stick to reality on, right?
Mm,
I'm not saying AAA is dead or TNA is dead or No is dead, right? What I am gonna say is only one of these companies believes in partnerships when it comes to AEW and WWE, and the
yeah,
proof is in the pudding. If
yeah. You see
if
it.
if one of them believed in partnerships, they would have partnered and saved ECW and WCW. They bought and destroyed them. If one of these companies wanted to work partnerships, they wouldn't be buying AAA. They'd be helping them. I
Yeah,
almost to
yeah,
the point where I feel like TNA's bought and they're not saying it because the backlash, so they leaked the AAA thing first, right? Uh,
right.
it's probably the same thing with Noah. We'll talk about NXT Japan, NXT Mexico, and TNA being their new developmental brand. I could be wrong, but bottom
Yeah,
line is one of these companies believes in monopolizing.
Right, and then making the champions of the other company look like crap. So
I mean, if the other company's fine with it, I said this online, I'm fine with
yeah,
it. If it was
TNA came out and said it was okay about the Joe
yeah,
Hendry spot, but
if it was my company, I wouldn't want to do that personally. But
right, yeah,
but if they want to do that, I mean, I believe Hendry will be there, so it benefits him fully,
mhm,
right? No matter
right,
if he has a
yeah,
storyline, he's gonna end up in WWE. It benefits him 1000%. There's no reason for him not to do it. I'm actually happy for him. I just, like I told you before, off the stream, I don't see how that helps TNA or their belt, especially
right.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like,
yeah.
I don't see how that's gonna make your champion look like a badass if that happens. So, you
I
know,
mean, like I said,
that's my opinion. You know, yeah.
when your champion's gonna sign there as soon as possible, he don't mind taking that because it doesn't. It just helps him. Now he has a Randy Orton storyline. Um,
Mhm.
like I said, I'm just confused what TNA thought that was gonna do to benefit them. It makes you instead of looking like a competing brand, right? Which not saying you are, but an 8-minute match, good match, makes you a competitor, right? Which might make people say, hold up, who is this champion that went 8 minutes with Randy Orton, right? You might get somebody to tune in, right? Maybe just a few, maybe, but you might, right? Something like this, and I'll give you the double standard. I don't think pure TNA fans are happy about this at all. People that have been watching TNA for 20 years that are fully dedicated to TNA, they did not like this shit. If I'm wrong, chime in, let me know.
I
Comment,
didn't
let
like it
me know.
either. Yeah, I
I
feel
don't
the same way.
I don't
I've been
think
a TNA watcher for years, so
I don't think that they appreciated it. What I
it's like
think I've seen for the past couple of days, personal opinion, don't shoot me. And if you want to, I'm in Massachusetts, come see me. I'm not worried. Bottom line is this, right? I feel like for the past couple of days, I've seen full-fledged WWE fans that probably most of them, not all of them, most of them only pay attention to TNA at all because they're involved with the WWE, right?
yeah, they're not going and watching it.
Yep, most of them. You know what they said at the end of that match? That's why WWE's boss. You ain't nothing. So
Exactly.
by thinking you ain't nothing, I'm not sure that made anybody want to tune in. Did you ever see a
Yeah.
basketball team get blown out that wasn't your favorite team and want to watch them next week?
Have I? Right.
Think. If your team gets blown out, you will watch them next week because it's your team, right?
Yeah, that's my team.
Have
Yeah.
you ever watched somebody else's team, right? Because this ain't your
Get
team.
blown out.
We're talking about WWE fans. This
Yeah.
ain't your team. Have you ever watched somebody else's team get blown out and
Yeah.
want to watch them next week?
No, I
No, you
wouldn't want
laughed that
to.
your team blew them out, right? It's like my
Right.
team blew you out. You ain't even worth watching. You bums. Now, that's the same guys that been telling you all week, shut up. It's the best look TNA ever got. Because that ain't TNA fans. It's WWE fans telling
Yeah.
TNA fans that
How
they
to
should
feel.
shut up and take it. Your champion got jobbed, but guess what? Biggest rub he ever got in his life. And you know
Just
what?
like just like Triple H telling his fans, just sit down and enjoy it. It don't
But
matter
you
what
know
it
what?
is.
Henry's gonna fucking agree. Pardon my language. You know why? He's damn near WWE superstar. He don't care
Yeah.
about TNA right now. Doesn't matter if he looks at you cold-blooded in your face and said he cares about TNA. He knows that he has a WWE contract waiting for him and a Randy Orton feud waiting for him right now.
Yeah.
So why does
Yeah.
he care about jobbing out your belt?
You don't.
He don't. So like I said, either that's the situation, right? Or TNA got bought and the developmental champion losing
Yeah.
to Randy Orton don't matter. It's like if NXT, their champion went and fought Randy Orton, I'm sure he'd get squashed too. But they'd give him more respect than that.
Like if they're the reason why I don't think that they're bought out just yet is because I think you would have seen a change in production and stuff already if they were. But
Possibly. Well, I'm just saying that two options, right?
yeah,
But I'm not saying there's many other options it could be, because if they bought you, right? And don't get me wrong, I'm not mad. I'm giving a little bit of passion out, as if I was the owner of the company. If I sold to you, it doesn't matter, because I'm going under your umbrella. Whatever you do, my champions don't matter. So I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. If that's the case, it doesn't matter, because the latter is, that Henry looked out for himself, not your company. And if
yeah,
if
yeah,
your higher up signed off on that, you knew you wasn't looking out for your company. You gave him a moment. They showed
yeah,
you out. They showed you get squashed.
yeah.
Like I said, I've
Who
never
would,
watched. Go ahead.
who would like to see that happen to your own belt? Like that don't even make sense logically.
Like I said, I've never watched my Rams blow out a football team and say, "Hey, I got to
Let
watch
me
that
go watch it.
football team
Yeah,
next."
they're treating WWE to me is I guess they're treating Joe Hendry like a comedy act already.
Well,
Because I saw this on X earlier. He was also in the Royal Rumble for only like 3 minutes or something.
yeah, but I mean
Yeah,
that one at least made more sense, because it's a Royal
I didn't
Rumble.
see it. So,
It's
yeah,
it's a Royal Rumble. I honestly had nothing bad to say about it. I mean, it's a
okay.
Royal Rumble. I've seen way bigger stars than him get thrown out quick in Royal Rumbles over the years. So
Oh, yeah, I
that's
guess that's
whatever.
true.
But the fact that they couldn't give you 7 minutes with Randy
Yeah,
Orton, you did
right.
hours of you know
How long was that match?
3 minutes, two.
Really? Yeah, damn.
He hit a move or two. He went to do his little comedy act where he stands and turns around. When he turned around, he got hit with the RKO out of nowhere. It was over. That's it. Like, why would you? So, like I said, nothing against Hendry, because I 1000% understand this benefited him 1000%.
Yeah,
TNA,
sure
I'm
do.
just not so much sure about that, because, like, I seen people earlier telling me that it benefited. It just happened. We haven't seen TNA do anything since. You can't tell me this situation benefited them.
Yeah,
They haven't done nothing since. Anything else, like, I get it. TNA is benefiting from working with WWE. They're gaining traction. They've done some big shows. I'm also happy as shit for them. It's not, like I'm mad. I want them to do good. I want all these wrestling companies to do good. Um, but you can't tell me squash their champion has already benefited them when TNA has done nothing since that day.
yeah. And what's TNA gaining from all that? Nothing.
Like, for example, if 2 weeks from now TNA does a show imposing a 10,000 house on a regular show, they benefited. Show
Yeah.
me. Right now,
Right.
what I think is you pissed off TNA fans, and there's a bunch of WWE fans telling TNA fans how to feel right now.
Yeah, and that's
That's
not right. Yeah.
like, bro, come on. Nobody wants their champion squashed. Nobody does. So this is either a bigger play from the higher ups where they know they're selling and it's to make them happy, whatever they want to do, or I feel like they might have made the wrong decision. Like, if you want to give him the rub, cool. He didn't need to lose in 2 minutes to get RKO'd. Have him show up and get RKO'd.
Have an actual match. Shit.
But
I
I
don't
mean,
see how
if
you
you
put on
wanted
a
him,
good match in 3 minutes.
yeah, but if you wanted him to get RKO'd in 2 minutes, he could have came out on the ramp to say what up to everybody, and Randy just came from the side and RKO'd him for no reason.
Maybe.
You
Yeah.
didn't you didn't need to pin him in 2-3 minutes.
No.
I just don't see the logics in that unless WWE is planting the seeds for their future plans, which I don't know how much that involves TNA's future plans. But we won't. I don't want to get nobody mad about this. I don't want nobody to think I'm hating on Joe Hendry. I'm telling you personally, as somebody that likes TNA, it's a questionable decision,
Yes, for
especially
sure.
when you know the guy that did it is probably close, has more feet. He has a foot and a half in the WWE door, and he has 3 toes left on your side. There's no way that you're telling me this was in your best interest unless you're selling. That's it.
Yeah. All right. True that. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about Dynamite tomorrow. And just everybody who's watching, if you got anything to say, please chip in and we'll read it out. Tell us your thoughts about who you want to see at All In, and then we're about to talk about Dynamite, so jump on and talk about Dynamite with us. So
Let me see if anyone sent anything in the group chat too. Keep talking, though. Do your thing, bro.
no, I don't think they have yet, but um, so only two matches have been announced so far, and kind of like that at this point. Give us a little bit of surprises. You know, we got Kevin Knight and Speedball Mac Bailey versus the Young Bucks in tag team match, and then we have an Owen Hart Tournament Cup match. We got Jamie Hayter versus Chris Statlander. It's going to be a huge. Whoever comes out on top is going to basically be my pick to who's going to go to All In and main event for the AEW World Women's Championship. So that's going to be exciting. I'm still placing my bets on Jamie Hayter though. So
I'm still back and forth. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Hayter in that match. I don't know about the next one though. I don't mind them announcing 2 matches, especially when one of them involves the Young Bucks, when a lot of people have been bitching about them not being on TV.
yeah,
So, and then also Kevin Knight and Speedball. They've been, I mean, they've been a TV vocal point since they got there.
yeah,
I don't expect that to change. I don't know if many people are paying attention, but there's like a new wave of young talent in AEW that's damn near on every show, even though they swear they don't,
Tony's smart by doing that right now too, because you got all these ex WWE guys that originally joined AEW. They're all making a name for himself now with AEW, and they're all going back.
Yeah,
So Tony's smart by keeping these newer talents on
yeah.
the screen.
I think what it is too is you getting these younger guys. I don't know if we touched on this, but and I'm not even sure if it was a triple. It was the 100K match. I think we did touch on it. But if you look at the end, how Osprey's like hugging Speedball and Kevin Knight and stuff, you could see like not just Osprey, because I know there's other people, but a guy like Osprey is like a real leader and like a someone that I know a lot of these young wrestlers look up to. Tony needs to bring in guys that buy into AEW for longevity, right?
Yes. Right.
No alternative motives, or at least not be one-sided where it's like I'm gonna leave as soon as I can.
Yeah.
Like you need to find those guys. Like Osprey could have took the WWE deal. He was loyal to Tony. He picked to be loyal to Tony.
I'm sure Tony paid him more, like way more.
No, I know, but if you look at what he said in that interview, he said for the minute he got the AEW tattoo, which was way before the deal, he said that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did get that All In tattoo.
He said Tony was loyal to me. He said I wasn't gonna turn my back on him. So the thing is, you need guys, and I think Osprey is feeding that energy to some of these younger guys, where not just him again, but you can't feed that to the older guys. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's realizing you gotta breed a wave of young talent that eat, sleep, and shit AEW, and their dream is just to be the best wrestler in the world. It's not to jump ship as soon as they can.
The only thing I got to say with the WWE guys who are coming in kind of late in their career, it's different different than somebody who's not towards the end of their career, like Adam Copeland coming in. He's finishing up his career. Yeah. It's different from what we're talking about.
A guy like Copeland chose AEW. That's different. It's like
he loves AEW. He went on the mic and said it.
But you also know his best friend was there.
Yeah,
it's kind of like one of those things where he's loyal. He didn't come over here to play games with you. He don't gotta go back playing. this is
That's
the end all be all. I got you. You know.
yeah.
So
This is why I see AJ Styles going
that's
towards the end of his career.
it's funny
Yeah.
that you say that, and it hit or miss. But and I don't think he would admit some of this, and people been bashing me. AJ said he'll never leave. This is last contract, but he said he's wrestling to 50 and he's only 47. The contract's ended. So something don't add up, right?
Yeah,
Sounds
right.
to me like he got 3 more years, right? But the thing is this. It's like what Bailey did in that interview. She said multiple times she don't want to disrespect WWE and she loves WWE, right? But if you watch that interview and what you seen from that was she'll never leave the WWE, you're crazy. What I seen was you better make something drastic or this is what's happening.
Yeah.
Like money, belts, I'm still here, year and a half, but that's what I read. And she might
Mm-hmm.
say you're wrong, but I feel like her heart was speaking. She want to be with Mercedes. And if
Yeah.
you can't change that feeling or bring her where she's at, I don't think that you're gonna have enough to change her feelings on that, right?
No,
So
for sure.
yeah, so when it comes to certain people, you gotta understand. You gotta be a good judge of character. You also gotta be careful what you sign and don't sign. You don't want to sign someone that is using you for a stepping stone, because if you get enough of those, you will be treated as the developmental for another brand, right? You need to sign as many people as you can that fit your style, that genuinely want to be there, that
Right.
when push come to shove, they're fighting for your brand, not ready to leave or leak information to the next closest observer that's out there. You know,
Yeah.
that's
Because,
yeah.
but good thing I think most of those guys that were just using AEW as a kind of like a stepstone for
He's gone.
towards WWE going back, most of them are already done that.
They're
So
already back. They're already back.
yeah. I was thinking there's one more person, but I can't think of it right now. But
Well, there's a few more potentials.
potential, yeah,
All the
not for
guarantees,
sure. But
all the ones that you knew for sure are gone.
yeah,
They went. And this ain't hold up. Then make sure I clarify this. I'm a fan of a few of those guys. Big
yeah,
fan.
right,
It's not a
yeah,
knock on them. You do what's best for your career. I'm
of
just
course,
saying that in business perspective, Tony needs to avoid those situations. I'm
yeah,
saying the
I
more
agree.
those situations he gets himself into,
And I
the
think that's why he's not signing some of these newly released WWE guys. So
yeah.
like we haven't seen Corbin or
Well,
that tag team. You know,
between me and you,
yeah,
Corbin, I think would be a nice sign, and I'm not so sure he's a WWE loyalist. After what I don't know if you've seen his interview when he spoke about he believes he got fired because one specific person. So
mm,
he has a personal problem over there, and he's been going
oh,
to bat for AEW. He's also been supporting AEW Hot Body Online.
then
So
he might be a good sign then. Yeah,
I think Corbin, because you got it. There's two things you need. I think personally, you need someone that's been through enough in another company that they're just like, look, I can't take it no more. I got you. Right? I'm riding with you.
mm,
That, or you need to get them young enough where they don't care about
right,
chasing a dream because I'm gonna get rich with you and you're putting me on. It's like
yeah,
you my brother. You brought me shout out to Graps TV. He said this the best on one of his things recently. He said he's old school. He believes on staying with the team that brings you to the dance. That's the old school mind state, right?
yeah,
You don't have a team bring you somewhere and then jump ship to the rival. You know, it's like stay with the team, especially if it's a competitive offer. If you have two offers that are the same, right? And one team brought you to the dance, one didn't, it should be an easy decision to go with the one that supported you before the other one looked at you, right?
right,
So even if your dream was, I want to go to WWE, hypothetically, but you've been to 5 tryouts. You've begged to go there. They never wanted you. And now another company paid you well and put you on, and now they want you. but the other company is willing to offer you the same amount, to me, it shows who you are when you jump ship. That's what it does, because that company didn't want you. It's like a girl being with a man that's been supporting her for 15 years, and the dude she wanted since junior high never wanted her. But all of a sudden, now she has a year where she looks good. You're going to leave the dude that's been supporting you for 15 years for the dude that didn't want you for 15 years. How do you think that's going to work out for you in the long run? Because I could tell you, they don't really want you. They want you because they seen someone else with you, and now they want to see what it's like. But the truth is, they didn't want you for you. They wanted you because you was over there doing good. Now, they get you for a couple of months. You know what's going to happen? The true colors come out. They don't want you. That's how it works. Even if they go out the way for you in the beginning, let's see how that works 6 months into a year when they didn't want you for 10 years.
Yeah, right. All these guys are going to get lost in the shuffle again. So
I mean, sadly, right now, shout out to 50 people in there. First of all, salute to all of you guys and women. Send any questions over. Don't hesitate. Doesn't matter what the questions are. Nothing's wrong or right. We answering everything. But I would say, unfortunately, the way it looks now is they're not benching no AEW stars that are jumping ship. What they are benching is their own.
They're starting to. They're not benching them per se, but they're. I mean, both.
Who?
Both Penta and Ray Phoenix both lost.
Yeah, but they're still being showcased. So
they are. Yeah,
benching. What I mean is this, right? I think that any middle to top tier AEW star that wants to go to WWE, they will find a spot to keep you on TV, even if it means benching one of their own. But they won't bench you because that's their pitch to get you.
Yeah, and I only got room for enough.
Now, here's the thing. I'm not pointing no names because, you know, and especially not talk about Penta, Phoenix, because these are two of my favorites. You remember I was telling people on the Phoenix post, like, chill out, like, and they was mad at me because I was telling them don't expose dirty laundry, just get out the contract. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm definitely not talking about those guys. Whatever they decide to do, and being from Mexico and being able to work with Rey Mysterio, that might trump any amount of money. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not knocking any of that. But my thing is, they're guaranteeing these people certain things, and some of these people they're guaranteeing stuff to. If you notice, the ones that they're getting to take those guarantees, right, are the ones that dream to be there. The money isn't a thing. Like if you see Vaca left like 500,000 or better yearly, supposedly on the table, supposedly, right? To go for a dream, no problem with that. That's your dream, right? Penta, after the WWE stuff and after Phoenix came, you see how he explained that Rey Mysterio story, how his brother was crying because they didn't get to meet him in the line and stuff like that. Certain things is bigger than money.
Yeah. And they want to be, it's that value, the value name still. So.
Yeah. Or they just want to make it at least once. Doesn't mean they won't leave, but they want to make it at least once and see what they could do there, right?
Right.
But what people got to also understand, not everybody has that vision. So say, for example, you always wanted to be a WWE superstar, but someone else will put you on TV and make you rich. That dream can fade away. It can't. It doesn't matter when you're talking about, some people put providing for their family and stuff like that first, which I would be one of those guys. Like if you offer me $1 million a year and someone else offer me 250, I don't care what the $1 million a year is telling me to do as far as losing or belts. I don't need no guarantees. The 250 could come with all types of guarantees, but guess what? I would take the million and lose every day of the year for the $1,000,000 because that part of it wouldn't matter as much to me as taking care of my family. So
Right.
that's like the divide between the two types of people. Um,
Yeah.
Tony needs to stay away from the ones that will make you look bad because
Yeah.
it's their overall dream. So you might need to. I mean, I don't know how you do this, but if you know someone's overall dream, no matter what, is to go to the WWE, don't sign.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a way to fully figure that out, but if you have a good idea, that's what it is. Don't do it. I mean, you
Yeah.
just set yourself up for failure.
Correct.
I'd rather
Yeah.
sign AJ Styles and know that he's gonna give you a strong 3 years at the end of his career, and you got a plethora of things you could do. Bullet Club, New Japan, Sam. You could send AJ around the world, right? Over signing someone in their youth that at 26, 27 is gonna just use you for a stepping stone to go somewhere else. I don't think that makes sense for him.
Gonna pull up the AEW All Elite page, see if they added anything yet for
As far as
tomorrow, but it doesn't look like they did.
well, well, you
Like
touched
I
on
was
this
saying,
one
huh?
thing, not to cut you off, but you touched on this a little bit. But I don't know if you want to give your deep thoughts on the Hangman Ospreay Owen match.
Well, I guess it's happening at Double or Nothing, right? Right.
So I believe so.
Yeah. It's gonna be a damn good match, regardless of the outcome. But personally, I'm a Hangman guy. I personally want to see Hangman win. So, and they're both on winning streaks right now. So, like hot ones. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I
Um,
think AEW might need them together to finally get through this Death Riders phase. So it's
yeah.
it's a whole bunch of
So,
things intertwined in this.
right. You know, I think both of those guys could easily be thrown into like another storyline or something leading to All In. One of them's going to have to anyway.
For sure.
And both of those guys can easily go jump into something else that totally makes sense because they both have history with multiple talent. So
For sure. For sure.
yeah, so I'm really excited to see the match. It's unpredictable. I couldn't even tell you who will win, like a definite answer. But
Throw us
I
who
can
you
I can
got.
only tell you who I want. But
I have an
yeah,
idea who you're gonna pick, but go ahead.
Hangman. I'm gonna pick Hangman.
I
Yeah.
know. I'm just talking trash. I
Yeah.
don't
What
I
about
don't
you, man?
um I honestly I think you're right. I think this is a 50-50 situation. I could see literally both of them being winners and seeing like a full picture ahead of that. I'm
Yeah.
happy with either outcome on this. There's gonna be one of like it's not often I would say this, and I know you know this. I don't give a fuck who wins this match. I'm happy either way, because I know it's gonna
Yeah.
be. Um,
Right.
I would say I'm probably leaning maybe towards Osprey, but then again, you know my prediction. I don't think Osprey will get the belt till they're back in London for the heavyweight title. So
Right.
that would
Yeah.
go against. That would kind of just go against what I'm thinking. So that's why it's like I
They
don't know
need
if
to. I think they need to give Hangman the belt again, like sooner rather than later. He's their hottest guy right now, bro. Like their
I.
top
Yeah,
talent.
I
Yeah.
I I mean, if I was the fantasy book, um, I
All
would say,
in.
well,
Yeah.
I would say, give Hangman the title. I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta have something good when Moxley loses. Like whether it's
Right.
AEW uniting and I don't know exactly what they do, but better than the last. Not come out and drop bottles like that type, like
Right.
something ill, right?
And it
Uh,
could be that John Moxley's not even losing the belt at All In. So
could be. But my thing is, I would say find my fantasy booking. Find Hangman a way to get the belt probably off Moxley
yeah.
before All In, preferably. which I know probably ain't even close to happening, but I'm just saying my fantasy booking.
Yeah.
I would give Hangman the belt.
Right.
I would have a triple threat at All In, Hangman, Swerve, and Dobby, so you could hand the belt to Dobby peacefully without making somebody look weak.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that leads you into the best storylines. Reason being is Hangman and Swerve lose, they're back at it, right? Because Dobby's just left with the belt. Doesn't mean they can't go back for the belt because both of them kind of got stories with him, right?
Yeah.
But he could detour and come back while they feud. Um, I think there's things you could do with Moxley, and same with Osprey. You might even just want to send Osprey to feud with whatever Moxley's doing on for a little bit or going on for a little bit, and derail from there. I just think that Osprey even getting a title or a title chance soon, he's gonna lose. Now I'm not really
Yeah.
so.
Right.
I would just say if the goal is to give Dobby the belt, make it a Hangman Swerve Dobby triple threat at All In, and let
Yep.
you take the
Uh,
belt because
at All In or after All In?
at wherever you want. I mean,
Probably after. Yeah.
after basically what I'm saying is this: instead of Dobby just beating one of these guys, because that heavyweight title scene is crazy. I
Yeah.
don't know how comfortable I remember I told you, and this ain't Dobby hate. I love Dobby, but it's just difficult for me to look at him and see him beating a lot of these guys. So the
Yeah.
triple threat for me just works a little bit better. I don't care exactly when you do it. I think it also leads into, like I said, the best feuds. Hangman and Swerve can still feud. Osprey could go feud with Moxley or whoever you want.
Right.
And I think you keep Osprey out of that title picture till next year. That would be my
I'd
end.
be best, I think.
I
Yeah.
think that's best for business instead of like throwing too much junk in the trunk. You know what I'm saying? It's like let him detour a little bit. I know I'm
Yeah.
expecting Dobby to have a nice run, not short, right? Um, so there's no reason to have Will Ospreay take a loss during this year. Bring him back for next All In London or
Yeah.
Forbidden
Right.
Door, whatever you decide to do in London is the one I would give him the belt.
Of course. I was trying to think. So we're in April right now. May is Double or Nothing. June. Is there anything in June, or is
I
there
don't think
not
July is
for
obviously
pay
All
per
In.
view?
I don't think there's nothing in June.
Yeah. Okay. I was thinking about that in my mind. I was like, am I
Yeah,
messing
there
up
might be
here? Yeah.
a Ring of
But
Honor.
no.
There might be a Ring of Honor pay per view, which
Yeah. Uh,
which not even counting the one that's out in Texas because there's one that weekend, but there's also another one.
or
I'm not sure.
Dishonor or something.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think there's two different ones, so I'm not
Yeah.
sure. But I don't believe there's no AEW one in June.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I was thinking about. I was like, well, June. I think it's just going to be a whole build up for All In. So
Yeah,
this is
I
good. I think that's what they usually do anyway. So
Yep. Funny thing too. Matter of fact, shout out to Angle. Sometimes I agree with him. A lot of the time I disagree with him, but I respect the boy, right? Um, he said a few things about the AEW pay-per-views that I really liked because there is once in a while inconsistencies once in a while, like there's a lag period here and there. Not recently. It hasn't been done recently. Make sure I put that in. But he was
last year they did. Yeah.
yeah, but he was. I think AEW does like 9 pay-per-views, and
Yeah. No. Yeah.
um, and Tony was talking about maybe going to 10. Angle was talking about drop 12 on their ass. Like yo, that way the book is consistent, pay-per-view to pay-per-view. Like you gotta always have a build-up.
I don't agree with that.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm not saying I agree or disagree with it, but consistency is usually an emphasis when you got a pay-per-view coming up. It is an interesting way to keep yourself on your toes. You know, it's also
Yeah, but I think AEW thrives when they have that extra time in between. Let's just say Double or Nothing and All In, and then down the line, like you got you go from December having one, and then you go to Revolution. It kind of gives you a break a little bit, and I think having a pay per view every month is gonna oversaturate them, and we're gonna see less of builds towards our bigger events like All In.
yeah,
So
I think it could definitely go both ways. Um, I'm not against either or. I just was throwing that out there because I thought it was, something interesting I seen recently. Um, but the one thing I would say is lately, I mean, I can't put a finger on it, but say at least for 2 3 months, there's been real good consistency. Um,
exactly,
yeah,
throughout the whole year. Yeah,
yeah. Um, but I want to say maybe I wasn't as down on AEW last year as other people. I mean, I think sometimes people are just kind of forcing it. Um, but I did see inconsistency a few times last year, getting stuck in between pay-per-views where it just kind of seemed a little bit more cluttered.
hmm
Um, so that's one of the things where I figured it was an interesting thought because I do notice Tony gets more crunchy when the pay-per-view comes and it's getting close. Lately, he's been kind of building a little bit more
he's been
out.
good.
No,
Yeah, he's already putting the fillers out there this year
bro,
for All
been
In. So
great, been
yeah,
great. Like he's been,
the
you
build
know,
up's gonna be awesome.
yeah, like he hasn't been throwing dots recently. I used to say
Yeah.
that before, not in a bad way, but I felt like sometimes it's maybe he wasn't sure, so he'll throw a dot out and just this is a good match. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that it's two good wrestlers without the build. Um, lately he's been crunching numbers
Yeah.
since that you remember since that he's in the weeds claim came up and not weed but in the weeds of the business
I know.
aspect. Um, it's been real good. I mean, I couldn't complain. Episode to episode been layover. Collision's been competing with Dynamite weekly. I mean,
Yeah, I've been very impressed with Collision myself.
yeah. Um,
So,
so things like that. I mean, I'm not necessarily advocating to add pay-per-views. Um, I wouldn't mind 10. 12 might be too much.
yeah,
But
10
if,
might be okay, but 12 would be just
but
oversaturated.
all I'm saying is if if that did guarantee you was gonna work month to month in the weeds, I'd be here for it. I'd pay
Yeah,
for all 12 pay-per-views. You'd
because
get
you see what you can see what he can do now, and then so having that much, yeah, he could definitely keep up and do
get
a
my
good
money
job.
for 12
That's
months.
not what I'm not trying to say. He's not. I'm just saying I think it's easier for AEW and the fan base really. So I mean, these pay per views. Some people have to pay a lot of money for these pay per
That's what I
views,
was
and
gonna say. Joke, right? You sure you ain't trying to save the 3 months worth of money?
maybe.
And I ain't gonna lie, I thought about that after too. I might need to save the 3 months. Might need to go down to 6 pay-per-views. Shit.
No, I couldn't handle that. But no, no, yeah, you gotta think about what's best, and I I never agreed with the 12 pay per view every month unless it's free on a streaming service. Like
Yeah, I think
yeah,
one of the other things I would think about if they was gonna do just say figuratively speaking, if they decided to do 12 pay-per-views, I feel like $25 a month on Max would be way more reasonable.
oh
I
yeah, for
I
sure.
I buy myself. I mean,
Yeah,
something like that, I wouldn't have a problem with. Also, they don't necessarily have to be 12 crazy build up pay-per-views because you got to remember, um, you got the CMLL that you could do something with. You might
yeah,
have something where you just kind of doing something with New Japan, Forbidden Door, something else. Even though that's technically considered. But you could also do other things, like you know what I'm saying. You could do uh all used together again and not have much AEW stuff going on, so it's not really weighing in on you, but you're
yeah,
still making profit. Um, I think it just comes down to um the streaming service and when they finally get to that negotiation of how they're gonna drop it on Max at a discounted rate, I think that'll probably factor into how many pay-per-views they decide to do going forward.
Sure. Yeah. Right. But good thing that they got going for them now is that they got some weekly specials. You know, like they do with Shark Week, House of Dragon, and the Spring Breakthrough thing. Like I really enjoy those episodes too. The special ones. So, yeah.
Those are some of those. That's the thing. Like Tony mastered the art of making regular shows big events.
Yeah.
Outside his regular weekly television. There's multiple trademarked events where he makes them feel like a
Yeah.
big deal. You know?
Right. And I appreciate those. Those are always really cool. They're always really good shows too.
That's the thing too. Like technically, he gives you more than 12 pay-per-views a year. Just some of them come in the form of shows.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to.
Oh yeah, and he gives pay-per-view level matches on regular Dynamites, man, which we appreciate. Don't stop doing that.
You know, making MJF for the title, and people went batshit like he's doing something wrong, giving you something for free. I'll accept it. Send it my way.
That's called looking out for the fans, bro. Yeah.
That gets an Orange Cassidy.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Don't die on me, brother.
I'm not too.
Do you have anything? Well, we do gotta touch on
Mercedes.
Yeah, the victory
versus Kanji at Rev Pro High Stakes.
Huh? I said I hope we pronounce her name right. Kanji.
Yeah. Kanji or Kanjai. I'm not sure. I'm not real familiar with it. I didn't get the chance to watch the match.
I respect her craft. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Not sure if I'm saying her name right.
So Mercedes retains her title. There's not much I can really say about it yet because I haven't watched the match yet. I probably will tonight. But you got any opinions?
There was some real good spots in the match, but I'll be honest with you, didn't watch it, so I'll be brief. I'm not gonna destroy anything for you. I was happy with the outcome. I think that Miss Mercedes had crazy interaction with the crowd. Obviously, it wasn't a 50,000 people arena or anything, but she had the crowd into it. She took a lot of pictures with the crowd after or before. I'm not sure.
I saw those. Yeah, that was pretty nice.
Yeah. And that also tells you her level of how happy she is. I remember, she might remember this, but I remember like a few years ago, maybe a little bit longer than that, people were saying during COVID, she wasn't trying to basically, be right next to fans, which I understood. You know what I'm saying? It's COVID. I need my couple of people was needing 6 feet on a bus. Taking a picture. She's trying to make sure she's not sick. So I understood it. No problem with it. But it also showed you that look at her. She was out there cheek to cheek with fans, holding their signs up out there in the UK and really, really enjoying herself. The one big difference I noticed, and don't get me wrong, Mercedes, Sasha, whatever you've seen her as, she always looked happy. I've never seen her happy the way she looks right now.
Yeah, she's a very happy person.
Yeah, her interviews, and I know money, like she said, money changes things. But I just think that she just looks genuinely happy. I don't think that she was going. I think she would have been rich even if she stayed with the other company. So I don't think that money made her ecstatic. I think it's what she's doing, the respect she gets from her boss and the peers that she's working with. She might know her friends coming to join her soon. But and end of the day, she's happy and I'm happy for her. So the match though, very good. I advise you to watch it. Kanji, Kanjai, Kanji, sorry again. Feel free to open it. Feel free to reach out if you ever want to jump on the podcast and clarify this. She looked real good. I expect to see her showcase stuff on bigger platforms. And remember, like we always say, and fans of her always say, Mercedes is allergic to having a bad match.
Yeah, I haven't
It's
seen one yet since she's joined.
no,
Maybe one, but I don't think that was really her fault. I think she carried that match. I don't know if I want to get into it right now and try to
yeah,
start something. I really
leave
don't.
it
But
alone. You throw it on another one, but
yeah,
she carries most matches, bro.
yeah,
I mean, like we know what she does. So I would
yeah.
just say definitely watch that match. I could send you the link to it too if you want.
Sure.
But it very good match. Mercedes deserves her props as always, but they both deserve them. I actually hope to see the other young woman on one of these bigger platforms soon because you could see she's working hard, and
Okay. Yeah.
that's why I wanted to make sure I gave her a shout out. Um,
Sure.
way it looks like she should be able to show up on AEW at least for a match. You know,
Maybe Forbidden Door or something. Yeah.
maybe not even like I said. Technically,
Or just
she
throw
could
right. Yeah.
show up and be a local talent and maybe put someone over. And this is why I tell people I'm not mad at the Hendry situation. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know if it necessarily benefited them in a whole as a whole. Um, if you're, a very small promotion like TNA, I don't look at like baby fish. Like I feel like you're like middle to upper echelon when it comes to wrestling, you know,
Yeah.
labels or known initials, things like that. For smaller promotions, that of
Mm.
course send your wrestlers. A squash works for you because you're a smaller company. I guess it breaks down to I don't look at TNA like a small company. You
Yeah.
know,
Well, they
I
used to be huge, but um,
I I
they
just
just been around for a long time too. So
I expect more from them.
yeah. Yeah.
That's
So TNA fan,
like
right?
I give
Yeah.
you an
I would
example.
expect more.
I give you an
Yeah.
example. Shout out to Scott. Do you think he would have made that decision with his champion?
No. Heck no. No way.
Scott, if I'm wrong, you let me know, right? I'm gonna tag you in this video. Scott, if you would job your champion like that, squash him, for better or worse. Remember, if Hendry's happy, TNA's happy. I don't want this to make it seem like I'm ranting, jumping through the computer, yelling, I'm angry. I don't care. I just don't believe he would do that because as a businessman, it helps one person.
Right. Not the company.
Yeah. And that and the truth is, you'll never put one person above the company. So you telling me you did?
Yeah. Right.
All right, so I'll agree with it. But that's what happened. I mean,
Right.
like I said, hopefully Scott sees it and we'll tag him in it. I'll cut this short right now. You want to tell Scott anything?
Uh, Scott, I wish you're doing well.
I love Scott.
Uh, I would really like to know if you're going to work for any other promotion soon, maybe AEW. But I know that's you can't really talk about that unless it happens. So it's just a pipe dream for me. I'd like to see him take on something. So
I like
uh,
to see him get the keys to
yeah,
Ring of Honor.
yeah. Oh yeah, get him hired on for Ring of Honor. That would be epic. Let him take control of Ring of Honor. And, yeah,
Maybe do something with his wrestling league with Ring of Honor.
yeah.
Um, but I definitely would like to see him. He's one of the great minds in wrestling.
We
We're
gotta.
we're
Yeah.
losing with him not being able to really put his creative out there. We do have a question or a statement from Mike. Um, Mike loves Bailey. Shout out to Mike, man. I would try to say your last name. Matter of fact, I'll try it. Michael Grudadaria. I gotta be close, right?
Yeah.
Something might be silent, but I feel like I'm close. You let me know if I'm not. But you said 2026 Bailey's contract is up. Disrespected for far too long. So Bailey's coming to AEW soon. Mike,
Right on.
I know you love to rant, right? But you know what? I'm gonna agree with this. I do believe that as soon as she can, she will be with Sasha / Mercedes, whatever you know her by, Miss Monet. I believe she'll follow her to AEW and be traveling the world with her as best
Yeah.
buddy. If we're lucky, right? She'll
Yeah.
even bring the Bailey buddies with her when they travel. Maybe the
Right.
small versions.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
I agree with you, Michael. I agree. Getting pulled from WrestleMania. Hmm. Anyways,
don't get me wrong, Becky's big time. I just think that Bailey deserves a little bit better than
and what you got? Yeah.
yeah. If you offered to, which she may have, that just the interview she did after didn't seem like she did, but she may have offered it. I mean, um, can I just say one thing I hated about that interview,
Sure.
and then we'll bypass it.
Yeah.
She said there was parts in that interview where she sounds like she was told she's not good enough,
Mhm.
and it could be her personal opinion. Absolutely could be. You know what I'm saying, but there was parts in that where she genuinely looked hurt, and she was talking about not disrespecting the WWE and not feeling like she's on Charlotte or Becky's level. It just sounded like you was told that. And it might have been what defeated you. But whoever told you that, I promise you, Bailey, that shit is a fucking lie. You are on their level. So I don't know if you told yourself that or if you was convinced that. But I guarantee you Mercedes wouldn't tell you that.
Heck no.
Guarantee you there's a lot of fans in this world that would not tell you you're not on their level. They would tell you you're their equals. Some might even tell you better than one or two of them. So
And yeah, do you think that her interview had something to do with her being pulled?
yeah, absolutely. But I think it's deeper than that. I don't think she would have exposed all that just for being pulled from there. I think that she's been going through something for a while. And that's why I feel like she might have been told she's not good enough.
Hmm.
And you know why? What you want me to tell you? The messed up part that made me think that.
Uh,
And I probably shouldn't be getting into this because I might get canceled over this. But I'm gonna be honest. Right? Paul Heyman's joke when he was just on talking to Pat McAfee at that broadcast on the sport. I think it was Sports Center.
what
Maybe
was the
he said Braun
what,
Strowman came up to him and said, "Why ain't on the WrestleMania card?" And I told him he sucked. That's why. He was like, and he laughed and he went with the punches. That's why he's a good person. So that's how you guys talk.
yeah, that showed you right there how they talk
So
backstage.
right there, when I seen that, and then I watched her interview, the first thing that I thought was, did Paul tell her that?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Right.
it sounded like the same Braun Strowman speech, just Bailey's convinced and Braun laughed at you.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not saying I'm right. And she probably would never admit that even if I was. Right? But I feel like they've been exposing themselves for 2 weeks. And you
Oh
don't
yeah.
pay
Yeah.
attention. You know what I'm saying? I don't gotta the thing what people don't understand when it comes to wrestling companies, I love and support all the wrestlers. It don't mean I gotta like the way the business part is going. That has nothing to do with the wrestlers. It's like you saying that all these wrestlers says this company is perfect. Yes, but the minute they leave there, they ain't gonna say that. They gotta say that when they there. You know?
Right.
And it goes both ways for every company. So I just didn't like the vibes that came off in that interview with Bailey. And like I said, I could have read it completely wrong. But after hearing the joke Paul Heyman said about Braun Strowman, it just kind of made me
Rubbed you the
feel
wrong
a
way.
certain way. Like I've seen hurt women before. I know hurt women. You know what I'm saying? I got hurt cousins that are women that went through bad relationships. She
Yeah.
just looked hurt. You know what I'm saying? And she also looked like she wanted to go with Sasha, but she also knew she don't want to hurt your feelings, even though she's hurt.
Yeah.
That's the way I read the interview. Now,
Just one thing real quick. Michael G, if you're still on and watching, if you got anything else you would like to talk about, hit us up in the comments.
throw it in there. Let
Yeah.
me check. Let me check in the other chat too, because I ain't pulled it up.
So I am live on YouTube right now. I was able to check that and stuff. So
Oh, did it? It went to fire. That's
yeah.
that's all I needed to know.
I don't know if you can see that really.
I
No.
can see it. That's all I needed to know. As long as it's on there, we good, my brother.
Yeah.
Because that it needs to all be rerouted. You know what I'm saying? We need to get, as many things that's going on. And there's about 60 people in there now. So shout out to all 60. I
Yeah, if you
hope.
got any comments or anything you want to talk about, drop them in the comment section, please.
Yep. And I pray all of you are on the YouTube stream. Not the Restream, the YouTube stream of this. Hold on 1 second. Let me check something. Wrong thing. That one. So definitely send any questions you want over. We're here for a little bit answering anything.
Yep.
Not anything, but most.
Well, we tried talking mostly about AEW tonight, but we ended up speaking a little bit about the other company, but just that's so many things going on right now. Kind of have to. So
Yeah, I mean, end of the day, we gotta the way it works, and I'll be brutally honest. I would prefer to be on here with 3 hours getting bombed with AEW questions only, right?
yeah.
If you guys don't send in your questions, though, we gotta go to current topics. So current topics ain't or are not always gonna be AEW, right?
Yeah.
So shoot those questions in so we can answer the things we prefer. And we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to specifically touch on? Because I don't mind. If we stuck, we break down the tournament.
Yeah. Let's talk about your tournament for a little bit. Yeah.
All right, well, let me make sure I pull these things up. Make sure I got it.
I'm surprised I made it past round 3, brother.
Don't play games, man. You stunned Stone Cold out of nowhere, bro. You hit him with a Stone Cold RKO. That's a first.
Yeah.
All right, but let me check one thing before we go there. And I could just pull up the quick results. We'll run them off. But yeah, you about to try to shock the world, bro. You want me to tell you the crazy part about that? Yo, listen. I know there's 2 things. First of all, I know some of these pages, no disrespect, it just is what it is, right? They're so bougie, they're not gonna
waste. They don't want to seem like they're wasting their time or
they
something.
lost. Instantly they lose because anybody else on there is gonna promote themselves and at least get a certain amount of followers. And if you don't, and you might not see it, because I know sometimes you get a million notifications. How you gonna see it? So either you're not seeing it, or you came across it, didn't find it important, and you lost to someone that got 60 viewers.
Yeah.
But what I said is same thing. Don't get mad at me. I'm not picking the winners. I'm not picking how many people vote. Some votes have had 1,500 people on them. Some votes have 16. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a fun way to do things.
How many votes did mine with Steve Austin get? It was quite a bit, wasn't it?
It was quite a bit, and you buried him. And you buried him for the most part. So that's the thing.
It almost got close.
Oh, it did get close for a second. It did.
Yeah.
Bottom line is, if you think that being a big name is gonna win you any vote, it could, depending on the people that's looking. But if you have someone that can promote himself and get 50 votes and you just don't touch it, you're probably gonna lose. It's the way it works. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want nobody getting mad at me. Obviously, it's just jokes. It's a fun way to do things. And I don't pick the winners. Don't be mad at me. I just made the bracket. And I added all y'all big top podcasters. So if you lost, you seen other dudes that retweeted one time, they win the battle.
Yeah, right.
All they gotta do is retweet it. Or go on it. Some of them went on it and put jokes like, who am I facing?
Yeah.
They instantly got 100 votes for themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Talk about the higher profile ones that actually did kind of get involved. What was it, Brian Alvarez?
Yeah, I give
Yeah.
shout outs to, and let me make sure I don't miss nobody. This is why I was trying to bring up the actual results, and I'll pull them up in a second. But for the ones I know, shout out to Brian Alvarez for being involved in it. Ibu, shout out to him. Shout out to Conan from K100. Um,
Hmm.
big shout out to the coach, BTT Studios. Him and Russo are definitely almost becoming must see TV right now. So shout out to them. Um, shout out to Steven Lawson. Shout out to Grap City, which is Righteous Reg and Phil. Um, bro, there's a shout out to Chris Jericho for supporting the tournament. Um,
Yeah.
Ango slipped through for a couple of things. He didn't go too hard. I feel like he should have won a couple of those matchups, but it is what it is. He didn't promote himself. Um, but there's a lot of them that did come through, and I noticed the bigger ones that came through. All they had to say was one thing: they secured themselves to win. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Sure.
Other than that, a lot of upsets because the ones that are promoting themselves to beating these big podcasts, it could be a dictation of two things because some of them have 600-700 votes and the big podcast is losing, so that's kind of a lot of votes, you know what I'm saying? So you
Yeah.
gotta look at it. You could take some of this as I don't think none of this is a dictation of real ratings or rankings of podcasts. Let me make sure I put that out there so nobody gets super salty. But I think if you do have 600 votes and the big podcast gets landslided, which has happened a few times, um, it tells you that either that podcast that won has a good fan base, just got to keep going, right?
Yep.
Or the fans that seen it are ready for a change and they might be sick of the person he was going against. Um, but I think that a few of them can kind of dictate on or give you an idea of who's going to be the next big podcast or has a chance to if they do it right.
For
So
sure.
yeah, my main thing of doing the tournament is, the big podcast. I expected a
It's real
landslide.
fun. It's real fun. It's a real cool experience. I've enjoyed it so far. So
Um,
it's something that's very interactive. I like those posts on Twitter.
for
I
sure.
like being interactive with even my followers, and
Hell yeah.
so yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And I mean, you out here, you working. You know what I'm saying? You deserve the light. So I think I would say the main focus on it would be to take smaller podcasts. I expected us all to get obliterated. I'll be
Yeah.
honest with
Yeah,
you.
me too.
I didn't expect one of us with under 100,000 subscribers to be left right now. I just didn't. Um, but what I felt was I added all the big podcasts, and I told anybody that wanted to be in, just tell me I add you,
Yeah.
right?
But
Because I felt like even if you get obliterated, if you get one new subscriber, one new
new
follower,
followers.
one new
Yeah.
fan, you got put on to one new fan,
Yeah.
anything
It's good
is.
for getting put out there too. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a win. It's also a way for all the smaller podcasts to get more exposure, especially with the bigger podcasts that interact, just for them to
Mhm.
even potentially come across something to you that they like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It brings you to a different platform. So
For
I would say like that was the goal of it, but I didn't expect all these upsets to start coming the way they did, you know? And that's what that is. That comes down to what people gotta realize. If you promote yourself, you could do good. You gotta put the work in. You know what I'm saying?
believe in yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you got
Yes.
someone that will put the work in versus someone
Yeah.
huge that don't care enough about the vote, right?
You're gonna beat them. Yeah. Every time.
Orange Cassidy. So that's basically where that went. But hold on one second. Let me pull up these round one matchups. We'll read off the winners for round one and round two, just quick. Um, you could touch on anything that you found surprising, which I'm sure you. The Orange Casties are out now. Shit, where's mine? Damn, I only got the Yeets. They ain't good for this situation. Hold on one second.
Get to Orange Cassidy.
For real, right? All right.
Ooh. So what's everybody up to tonight?
That's what I'm trying
Yeah,
to figure out. People are sleeping out here.
I think so.
That's rough.
I know it's been exhausting without seeing AEW in like 5 days.
I
It's
know.
been hard on me.
During WrestleMania, I almost asked, "Is it Wednesday yet?" But I just didn't want to get attacked, so I left it alone.
Unfortunately, I did watch WrestleMania.
Me too.
I was not a big fan of it.
I don't even say
I mean,
unfortunately.
I didn't really expect it to be something that I would enjoy because I am a AEW hardcore. Uh, but it just kind of like dragged the week for me a little bit too. I'm like, I need to see some really, really good wrestling and good TV. I want to watch AEW like now, but it's coming tomorrow night. It'll come soon enough.
Yeah,
But yeah, uh,
man, it'll be here soon.
what's crazy is I'm always excited for the next Dynamite. They always leave me wanting more.
Yep,
So yeah,
especially lately.
right.
I don't know why the hell I can't find this first round of matchups. Actually, hold on 1 second. Keep the viewers entertained. Give me 1 second, okay?
All right, sure. All right. Got any questions for us? Hit up the comments. Like to read them off. If you got anything you want to talk about, get off your mind. Shoot us a comment. Who do you want to see at all in AEW, or do you want to talk about Dynamite tomorrow? Let's talk about it. So while he's away, uh, let's jump to see if we can find a topic. We kind of covered all of ours. Um, really excited to see Dynamite tomorrow and see what Tony Khan does as a kind of like a against WrestleMania 41. See if he gives us a real badass show, which I believe he will. Uh, he's been delivering every show this whole year. There has not been a single Dynamite that I've hated. So yeah, and let's see here. See if any more matches got announced that we could talk about. I don't see any.
Oh,
So,
trying to get this cat up out of here. He's dangerous. All right, but here's the thing. I can't. There's so many goddamn posts about this. I'll check one more time. Round one, I'm gonna have to update later. But I could run down to round two, and you tell me what you think is your biggest upsets. I'll do an individual video for round one because
sure.
we just kind of freestyling now. And shout out to the 60 people that's in here. I'm gonna give you the round two. We're gonna break it down for them. I'll read them off to you. Um, I'll go like three. You give me a bigger subset. I'll read the next three. There was 20. There was 20 round two matchups. Um, anyone listening, we're still gonna recap round one and round three, but this is just gonna be round two on this live stream. So this is the best podcast. Excuse me, the best wrestling podcasters tournament 2025. So, and there's some decent ones here. So Simon Miller, round two. He defeated Countout Podcast. That one was probably expected. Wrestling beat True Hail Heat Podcast. GWP, they're going strong. They beat the Art of Wrestling Podcast. Did you hear anything there that kind of caught your attention?
Simon Miller. I watch his YouTube content from time to time. I really enjoy his stuff. So that was good to hear that he won. So is he going into round three?
Yeah,
Or
he's
is
put like this. You're gonna be upset what you hear in round three because that already happened. We're just recapping round two right now. But yeah, he is in round three.
yeah.
Didn't go too good for him. Let's give you the heads
Uh-oh.
up.
Dang
Yeah,
it.
yep.
All right.
Because round three is literally ending. There's maybe 4 matches right now still going, and we'll recap round three tomorrow at some point in the future.
I'm giving that a thumbs down. So
Yeah, well, there you go. Opposite Orange Cassidy.
yeah.
The other matches that happened round two, the Sessions defeated the ADT pod. OVP defeated Off the Hop podcast. And Junkies defeated Denise. That was a big upset.
Denise lost?
Denise got a boot. Shout out to Denise Salcedo. I believe that's how you say it.
Yes.
But yeah, she got a boot smoked. Junkies was out there swinging. Heavy promotion, not playing. So yeah.
Well,
Any of those? I mean, obviously we know the Denise one was an upset. You
she
got
must have not have retweeted or something.
Nope. She probably didn't even see it. I mean, she's a woman. I'm sure she gets harassed all day online. So she probably
Didn't
didn't.
even think about that.
Yeah, she probably didn't even see it. But her boots, whatever boots she was wearing that day, they got smoked. That's that, right?
Yeah.
The other match that happened round 2. Shout out to Steven Lawson. They've been very active. They still got 3 teams going in round 4. 3
Good
podcasts.
gosh. They're smoking everybody.
Yeah. They beat our homegirl Wrestle Tati. She actually was leading that matchup for probably 14 hours.
And they came out out of nowhere, huh?
Yeah, they came out of nowhere. Sean Z View, are you familiar with him? You got a big YouTube
following? Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
What happened with him?
He got his boots smoked by women wrestling.
Figured.
Out the park. Yeah, he has a big following. I'm not so sure.
He really does, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean,
he's been around for a minute. Yeah. I remember I used to watch him like when I was like 12 or something. Yeah.
He bombed JD too recently, or some last clip I seen. Our boy Russ lost to the coach, but the coach is promoting strong. He not playing. Even from round 1, because he was one of the first matchups. When I posted the way it worked out, and I didn't pick the formats. But I know round 1, Russo brand, which is part of BTT Studios, because they do the coaching, bro. That ended up against each other. Russo brand versus BTT. The coach posted, he was like, "Oh no, man, you know how he talks. He's hilarious, right?" And he said, "You got Andre Giant versus the Hulk Hogan in the first round. This can't be right." Yo, but at the end of it, I showed the Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant. We just got wrecked. We've been vibing ever since. I would love to do, some type of work with the coach in the future. He's probably one of my favorites. But he took Russ out. Russ had a good run, but he got taken out. Do you have anything you want to add in about those 3 going in Raw?
I was going to add to the coach. I really remember most of his stuff when he was getting talked to by The Rock, and The Rock was always like making fun of him and stuff. But so I started thinking about some of the old days.
He's actually a real good personality, and he does keep a lot of stuff authentic. Like, he wasn't happy with WrestleMania. We don't got to go back down that rabbit hole, but
no, let's continue with your
he gave his honest opinions. This was a big upset. And this ain't Swerve Strickland. This is the Swerve Show. This is a different podcast, not Swerve Strickland.
Not affiliated with Swerve at all.
No, not at all. And he destroyed 83 weeks. He was bad.
Bischoff, yeah.
Destroyed. And I tagged every one of these people that have a Twitter page. Yeah. I tagged you and shared your YouTube. Some people got the hashtag because I couldn't find your Twitter page. But I still asked people to tag you if they could find you and put your YouTube. But everybody that got destroyed, you was tagged. And I also inboxed you if I could. If I couldn't, I shared the poll on one of your posts on your page. So I gave you like a plethora of opportunities. As much as I disagree with, as much as I loved the part of Eric Bischoff's ranking Korean WCW, as much as I hated more of it, as much as I hate what he does now, I still gave him the respect, tagged him, told everybody to go and follow them. He got destroyed. The people really spoke in that one. Go back and find it. Wrestle Rant upset Wrestle World CC. Wrestle World CC has a huge platform. That was a pretty good upset. Chair Shot. You familiar with Chair Shot?
A little bit. Yeah.
One of them, I think maybe the one that started Chair Shot. He's from Massachusetts. Good, real good dude.
Okay.
Definitely support them. Any people that got in there is good people. He defeated Mini Portable. I thought that was a good matchup. Mini Portable got great reaction videos, and I believe she probably got a bigger following than him. But they won that matchup pretty easily. What did you think about those three matchups?
Um, don't know too many of them, to be honest with you.
Well, put it like this: what did you think about Eric Bischoff getting clothesline?
All right. Oh, you'd love to see
Buckshot
it.
Lariat style. Buckshot Lariat style.
Yeah. Hey, you love to see it, I guess.
I,
Just,
you surprised at least? The love to
I
see
mean,
it, but I feel you.
yeah.
But was you
I'm not
surprised?
really surprised, honestly. I mean,
You
because
think
if he didn't have any interaction with it, and a lot of people really don't like Eric Bischoff, so
I guess what I would say is this: even though it's not 1 million votes, on
yeah,
like an astronomical scale, do you think people are sick of him, ready to move on? Is what my question is.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think some of these podcasters, obviously not promoting yourself is a big part of it, but I also think people being tired and bored of you and ready to move on may also play a part into a few of these
Before you
domination.
continue, yeah, before we continue, or you can go ahead and talk about it. I can hear you. I'm just gonna grab some medicine real quick. That's like right behind me.
Go, go,
So,
go ahead, go ahead. There's only a few more matches left in round two, um,
okay.
so we'll be all right. Um, Rhapsody beat Wrestleology. Um, I think Rhapsody was obviously the better pod, but Wrestleology might have a bigger following. I guess you can consider that an upset. Talk is Jericho gave me a follow and supported us heavy, but he lost this round to Everyone Has an Opinion.
Really?
Yeah, YouTube following not as big as other platforms, but Spotify, Apple Music, um,
Mm,
really doing good things. Has a pretty good following on other platforms. Probably should push their YouTube a little bit more, but other platforms are doing pretty good. Speedball. This was my most interesting matchup of any round.
really?
Speedball versus Ebu. Let
And
me
Ibu beat Speedball.
let me explain why. Right? It started off. I want to say it was about 60 votes, and Bailey was up 97%.
Nice. And then out of
Only
nowhere,
only time I've seen something like this happen. It was like 92-8, 60
dang.
something votes, right?
Yeah.
Ebu reposted what? Laughing. Bro, in 5 minutes he was up 90 something to like 10 or
Jeez. Holy
7 or
crap.
12. Didn't even say vote for him. He just laughed at it. And
That's
his
crazy.
fan base went berserk. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean. Where like some of these dudes just lost because you didn't see it or you was too good to repost it. You know?
Right. Yeah.
Um, but that listen, fan of both guys. Love speedball. I mean, I know Ibu's had ups and downs,
Yeah.
but works hard, kind of
Yeah.
warranted,
I can
works.
see that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I did his
That's
thing.
a that's very surprising to me still though.
Yeah,
Uh,
bro.
I don't think Speedball has as many followers as even Ibu does.
I don't think
Yeah.
so neither.
Yeah.
But I also think that when Ibu shared that, he showed the engagement on his page is just a little bit different. Like at any
Yeah.
time he could share a post to win a vote, there was 1,200 votes on that poll. It went
Jeez.
from 60 to 1,100.
Dang.
Might have been 6 hours left, and it
Yeah.
just so that's kind of the level of power certain people like that have. Um, I mean, I know Ibu. I'm not sure about the Fightful situation or exactly what he's doing, but he doesn't need a platform. He's huge right now.
Right.
Whether people realize it or not. Um,
Yeah.
the next one, this kind of isn't surprising. Russell Juice. another Steven Lawson program. They dominated everything and they shared every post they was involved in. They beat OSW pretty definitively. You know who won the next match though?
Who?
Do you know Took? Do you know that
Yeah,
guy?
I think so. I don't know.
Took Timbo.
That's
Well, that kid, I'm not sure who he is. He beat Deep Six Podcast. That
who.
was a pretty definitive win. Whoever that kid Took is, I mean, shout out to him. Oh,
Took
that's you.
Timbo.
No, yes, that's you.
Yeah,
Nah.
that's me, bro.
All right. Well, main event picked up. Shout out to you. That was a huge win.
I appreciate my followers too for voting and stuff. I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. So
You're welcome. Third round, we ain't gonna drop it yet. But third round, this round you stole a base. Third round,
yeah,
you hit it inside the park home run. You know
yeah,
what I mean? So we'll talk about that on another note.
yeah.
Main event had a real main event's been heating up.
I've heard about them. Yeah,
I want to say out of the 3 rounds or first 2 rounds, one round he had more votes than almost the whole round combined. Every other vote.
fine.
Yeah, like
Good for him.
but every round he has consistently had 300 plus votes, or
Yeah.
like maybe one was under it.
Good job. Yeah,
Yeah, outside of like the Ebos of the world, he landslided every voting poll. He had the most like EVP had the most votes for him. I want to give a big shout out to EVP on the main event Mondays. Then the Elite Mob, you know them guys?
maybe.
Oh yeah, we live right now. We the Elite Mob.
Yeah, yeah.
We smacked Conman 167 out the park, and honestly, I did not expect that to happen. I expected Conman to win. Conman has a real good page, does good content. I think 2 things fucked him that week, and 3 things. One, he probably didn't see it because we went off like in between WrestleMania. 2, if he did see it, he probably didn't care about it. Let's not get it confused there. You don't gotta care about this pointless podcast. Even though I'm gonna announce now the winner will get a trophy. I haven't told you yet. You will get one. As long as you have a place for me to send it. But
nice.
yeah, so I don't think that I thought we was gonna beat him. But that week he did 2 things that I think cost him the win. And neither one of these things I believe is actually his personality or really him. You know what I'm saying? First thing he did, he tweeted Hogan did nothing wrong. Now I'm not gonna speak no personal feelings, but people shit over that. And I know he lost a bet or something like that why he did it, but you gotta understand. Twitter don't understand that type of shit. All Twitter seen was you tweet that Hogan did nothing wrong.
Yeah, they're gonna come after you full force.
Yes. Then he tweeted a picture that did nothing fit to help him.
What was it?
I'll leave it off of the stream because what people are saying is probably things I wouldn't say. And obviously, I know his picture was a tweeted joke, but I just think that those 2 things, the day before we had a matchup,
still up?
I don't know. I think he'd say he lost a bet on that too. I think he makes a lot of bets because I think he lost the bet and had to dress like Hogan his last stream. Like the guy's fucking hysterical.
I don't think he needs to stop betting. Then seems like he's losing a lot.
Maybe it's just his gimmick. Maybe he's really not betting. But I mean, the stuff he does is super funny. I really didn't expect to beat him personally. But all in all, I'll take the win. I mean, how do you feel?
We won. Yeah.
Yes, no complaints there. I'll send Turnbuckle a text later, let him know. Congratulations. You know what I'm saying? But that's all around 2. I'll recap round 1, upload that separately, and we'll also recap round 3 separately and put that up. But that's round 2. Wasn't too many huge surprises in round 2. I want to say the big surprises came round 3 because the way the bracket worked, and I just throw no winners, but I just kind of give a subliminal or kind of an idea. Stone Cold or like Jim Cornette, certain people like that have so much of a big following. The app gave them a bye week till week 3. They
Okay. Yeah.
didn't have to even go to war till week 3. So same thing with Up Up Down Down and
Yeah.
Sportskeeda and
Yeah. I saw a bunch of big names more in
the
round
big
3.
names. They didn't even, because we added 126 podcasts, right?
Yeah.
8 of those teams went to the front, never had to play till week 3, right? The rest of them, we kind of just went to war, 100,000 or lower. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's why sometimes it looked like you got a big name in the first round, but what you
Yeah.
got to realize is they have 12,000 followers on YouTube. I did the brackets by YouTube subscribers. So if you had a million, you're a 1 seed. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you have 9,000 followers, you're probably no different than someone with 90, because
Yeah. Right.
the ones above you is 80, 90, 150. So that's why the seeding was like, look at Russo and the coach got each other round 1, because their YouTube following just, it wasn't huge. Even though they're, you know, big entities, or, you know, huge people, their YouTube following just wasn't big enough to give them a 1, 2, 3, or even a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
How many rounds is it going to be?
I'll give you. I don't want to read off all the rounds, because that we didn't do round 3 yet. But
No, but
I
I
can
just want to know in general. Like,
I can tell you the exact amount. Hold on, let me just pull it up right here.
that'd be interesting to know, like
Yes.
how far along we are in it.
Yep. So, all right, right now, we're at the end of tonight, we'll be in round 5, because remember, 1 round already went. So technically, we just did round 3. Round 4 starts tonight. There's round
Oh,
5, 6. So there's 4, 5, 6 semifinals, then championship. So we got 4 more rounds, and then we got the championship round.
that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, and there's
I'm
there's
excited.
there's some crazy matchups coming. Like, what I'm interested to see. First of all, the upsets is always intriguing. There's like multiple 16 seed Cinderellas right now that are still alive for no effing reason. They're still alive, right? The second thing I'm interested to see is when like 2 active big accounts go against each other.
Yeah.
Like right now, if Ebu and one of Steven Lawson's account go against each other, they both will share it. Who wins?
Yeah.
If Alvarez goes against somebody, Alvarez is cocky. He shares it and says, 100% chance I win this.
He would.
And I feel him, because he hasn't really had no real competition. But say, for example,
Is that what we're going to see in round 4?
oh, he's still alive. He's still alive.
No, is that what we're going to see in general in round 4, like bigger matchups?
Oh yeah. I'll be honest with you. I expected a lot bigger matchups, but click this. Boot smoked. I'm not gonna get into who went. Broken skull, smoked. Right? Now we're talking just round 3 subliminals. Spoiler, shut off if you don't want to hear. I ain't gonna tell you who's winning though. Click this. 83 gone. Broken skull gone. Busted open just got busted open. They gone. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, so at the end of the day, I expected a lot of these heavy hitters to be, bumping heads right now. You know what I'm saying? King Kong versus Godzilla. But some of these accounts, they just laid down. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that, like I said, it's not like they just didn't want to share it. Some of
Let's
them
hear about round 3.
Want to hear it? Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I got that right in front of me. Let's do it. All right, so round 3, we had some heavy hitters that came out. Logan Paul had his first match, right? Against the Sessions, who's been active since round 1, which is Renee. She smashed.
No,
Nobody cared about his lion salts or his buckshot lariats. He got destroyed, and I didn't. Thumbs up, Orange Cassidy. I also don't expect Logan Paul to ever be able to see our tournament or
yeah,
ever care about it because he unanimously was the biggest podcast in this tournament.
yeah, right.
Biggest Twitter page
Can
too.
be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the biggest following on both on Twitter
If
and
he
on
would have
YouTube.
shared it, it would have been
He
different.
was actually the number one seed. Like there was 1, 2, 3, 4 to 8. He was the
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
I mean,
I got knocked out by Renee. Hell yeah.
yeah, but Renee beat his ass. She was not playing. She learned
Good.
well from John Moxley, right?
Yeah.
The next match, Cultaholic, another monster, took out We Talk Impact, which is great podcast. Smaller based. It's mainly TNA.
Yeah.
This was kind of like a fair fight. Not too much promotion from either side. Cultaholic gutted it out just by probably having the more fans.
Mhm.
Kind of a simple thing. Um, this right here was surprising. Simon Miller went against Deadlock Pro, which we know he's from technically Wrestle Talk. They are the same thing. But
Yeah.
remember, I added if you have more than one show and they all have 100,000, who am I to say you got one? I added all of them.
Yeah.
You got, you know what I'm saying? So we what culture? Um Simon Miller, Cultaholic, it's kind of the same type of thing. But Simon Miller went up 30 votes and was dominating. I woke up the next day, he lost to Deadlock Pro.
Same.
I don't know what happened, who promoted. I don't know exactly what, but that was a big surprise. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, shout out to O'Shea, O'Shea Jackson. For anybody that don't know, I don't feel like I should have to say this, but that's Ice Cube's son. No Contest beat ALW podcast. That's a good member of our podcast. Member of the family.
Yeah.
Um, close fight. I think it was like 50 something to 40 something. It was a 50 to 48 maybe.
Close fight. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
close match. This was another big upset. I expected Van Vliet. He was another didn't have to do anything to the third round. Big platform, great at
Yeah.
what he does.
Big name.
Probably not many people that could even say anything bad about Van Vliet.
No. He's
Um,
an awesome dude.
yeah, OVP killed him though. OVP
Okay.
podcast destroyed him. They have heavy promotion game. They earned the win. I
Yep.
inbox Van Vliet. I actually had the ability to do that. I put
Yeah.
it on one of his posts when there was no other comments on it. That gives you the ability for your fans to at least see it.
Yeah.
After like the first 10 votes, it was bad. OVP dominated that match. A big matchup. What culture ended up against Wrestle Juice? And the result
Oh,
was 94-6. Wrestle Juice killed them. Bad. Um,
dang.
once again, Steven Lawson, very active. So
Yeah.
they're promoting themselves. The latter isn't. Um, whether they've seen it or not, up for debate. Whether they don't want to share it, up for debate. But they got killed. Not Sam, pretty good wrestling page. Not the Not Sam's wrestling. That's something different, but just not.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay. I
think
was thinking about Sam. Yeah.
I think he might also do something with the WWE. Not 100%. Might be the same dude that does the Raw recap. That might be Not Sam.
Yeah. Not. Yeah. I think so. Yeah. Not Sam.
But he has his own page too as well. Before he was
Okay.
doing that, got killed
Hmm.
by CWC, casual wrestling community. This one I found interesting because they had no Twitter I could find, so I tagged nobody, and they've won every round, so they definitely got a good following. They've won a couple of good matches without me tagging anybody to promote it. I don't know who to tag. So whoever the casual wrestling community is, big shout out to y'all. People love you. Swerve Strickland smacked Helwani out the park. Wasn't really
Good.
close. No promotion from either side. Swerve hasn't been active. Nana was a little bit active on the first round. Since then, Swerve's kind of just won on his own. Hasn't been on
Hadn't
promotion.
even shared or nothing, but still.
And realistically, I'm a Prince Nana affiliate. I probably could do more to get them to, but it kind of is what it is. I know Swerve doesn't take the podcast too serious, but someone recommended him. I know he has done podcast episodes, so we added it. He's pretty much won most of these by a good amount. Just no promotion from any aspect. The next one who put out a good run. Everyone has an opinion. Alvarez just wasn't having it.
Yeah. Alvarez,
100% win.
Yeah.
Was up bad. Juan pulled a mean comeback. But just Alvarez was too much. Shout out to Brian Alvarez for supporting us. Also shout out to Brian Alvarez for being his own thinker and just not being a yes man. I do like what he does. The next one, another big one. I expected Undertaker to do good in this podcast. It's the Undertaker, goddammit. Like,
yeah.
So when I hashtag Undertaker, I'm assuming like
somebody's gonna see it.
Like casual people is gonna vote Undertaker. And it's not because I want the other person to lose, it's because that's the Undertaker. You gotta let people know that's the Undertaker. Like he should win. If you win, you earned it. If he wins, he's supposed to win. You know what I mean? I blew him out the park. Our wrestling promotion game is very good. People didn't vote for Taker the way I thought that they would.
Who blew him out of the park?
Renaissance Wrestling.
Renaissance. Oh, okay.
That.
Yes.
So it's RR. So RR Wrestling. Yeah, it was bad. Corey Hayes has had a real good run. Also, I want to say one other thing. The way the bracket went, certain matchups that won round one got a bye in round two. And just went to round three. Because I don't know, the amount of teams, you look at the bracket, they did it the way they did it. I just put the names in. You feel me? So Corey is one of those people. He won in round one. Corey Hayes, they pushed him to round three. In round three, he smacked Reality of Wrestling out the park with high 90 percentile. Once again, good following for Corey. Shout out to him. I'm a big fan of his account. Shared it, engaged, got his fans to promote him. I wasn't expecting.
We follow each other, if I'm not mistaken.
I've seen you on his page. I didn't expect Booker T or anybody from Reality to do anything to save themselves. Yeah, they got killed. Devon and BGW podcast put up a big fight all the way down to probably like the last 15 minutes. BGW actually pulled it out, but Devon was winning most of that with no promotion because he's another guy that don't have a Twitter to tag. So he was just hashtag. Sam's on wrestling. The one that I was saying earlier, don't confuse. They beat WrestleMania. That's the number 2 seed. That YouTube has
WrestleMania. Yeah, they're a huge page.
Like 1.2, maybe 2 million. I don't know. They're huge. They was the next biggest YouTube after Logan Paul as far as subscribers. Their first match
from time to time. So
their first match, they got fucking crushed, bro. Wasn't even close. We Need Wrestling. MMA Sean Ross Sapp like he was a nobody. 1, 2, 3 combo, put his ass to sleep. That was like
didn't do anything.
No response. You know what's the crazy part?
Yeah.
First of all, shout out to Sean Ross Sapp. Don't take this personal. I know sometimes you get a little outrageous with your tweets. I'm gonna tell you what I'm saying. A couple weeks ago, Jeff Cobb's one of my favorites since Lucha Underground. Like, I'm happy wherever he goes. You see, he fuck with my page because he knows I support him heavy. You know what I'm saying? When there was that rumor he went to WWE, right? But didn't actually have somebody wrote something. I have no idea
Yeah.
what it is.
That's
That's
like
like
a thought or
spam.
something.
Yeah, we ain't paying attention to that.
Hmm.
But you remember, like a week later, people said he's just won the tag titles. Maybe it wasn't true. So I wrote
Hmm.
sarcasm, like me and Cobb. I'm on his posts all the time. He always likes, so like I show you
Yeah.
that shit. And usually I don't. I'm saying
Yeah.
this to you, right? But I said, well, if he signed to WWE, he didn't yet, right? Because he liked the post where I said maybe Samoa Joe isn't off the table, and he liked it, right? Now I know how he is. He's a down to earth, humble, and he's a troll, right?
Yeah.
So he's, it's like, oh, the rumors are true. I ate a donut today. You know what I'm saying? Like you see how he is. Like he's a
Yeah.
cool ass
He's
dude, right?
playful. Yeah.
So when I said that, I didn't even know Sean Ross Sapp dropped the report that he signed. I
I didn't
didn't,
know that. Yeah.
yeah, like I didn't know you was the one
So
that
it's
said,
official that Cobb
no,
is with.
yeah, like I didn't know that. So when I said that, it was referring to somebody else's post, and I just said he didn't sign yet, and I said the picture that he liked it. Bro, Sean, look, right? I'm a fan of you. You came a week later, bro. I shared the picture and jumped under my comment like you receipted me and said, yes, he has. 7 days later, bro, I don't have no problems with you. I didn't post it about you, and I didn't even know you was the one that started the reporting. I just put that because Cobb liked the post.
Yeah.
Sometimes those receipts are stupid. Receipts is for people that are jabbing you. I didn't have no
Mhm.
idea that she was for him. But to be back to what I said, you jumped on my page to receipt me
Yeah.
over
A week
something
later.
I wasn't talking about you a week later. So what'd you do? You bookmarked it, you hashtagged it, you took a picture to receipt me a week later. But when your ass about to get your boot smoked in a podcast, you couldn't take 2 seconds to save your life.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it don't mean anything. It's a bullshit Twitter podcast. But my point is, you went out your way to receipt me on something that had nothing to do with you. In my opinion, I didn't know it was about you. But
Hmm.
when I tag you in a podcast tournament that has something to do with you, I ain't seen nothing then. I seen a ghost and I seen you lose with less than 10%. It is what it is. Mm. But once again, shout out to Sean Ross Sapp. There's no need to receipt me. I know you're getting attacked all the time. I
Yeah.
wasn't one of those guys. It was silly. Like, but he got his boots smoked. All right. So off Sapp, we had Soraya versus Real to Us. Heavy promotion once again. Versus Soraya, that looked like she was out enjoying herself that day when we did the vote.
Yeah.
I did not expect her to share anything. And she
She
didn't
did.
receipt me at all ever before. So, like I said, I kind of knew where that was going. I got nothing bad to say. She kind of just was in a bad situation.
Who was she up
Grapsity,
against?
what'd you say?
Who was Soraya up against?
She was up against It's Real to Us podcast, smaller podcast, but good promotion. Um,
Also, Soraya got knocked out.
yeah,
Yeah.
she got knocked out. But like I said though, I mean, that's one sided. You have no chance to defend yourself. Not a knock on His Real to Us, but a few of these big podcasters, and honestly, Ross Sapp included. So let me not act like I'm just hating on him. You didn't win because you didn't see the post or didn't engage
Care.
with it. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, I mean, wouldn't even say that. Just say didn't engage because who the hell am I? This tournament don't mean shit. Now, one of these dudes that have a huge platform needed to engage with this tournament. The ones that did, that's why I respect the hell out of them. They
Yeah.
didn't, So, but I will acknowledge the big ones that lost. It's because you just didn't get involved in it. I'm sure that someone like Soraya or Sat could say vote for me and bang, 300
Steve
votes.
Austin.
300 votes appear. You know what I'm saying? But if they don't, and you promote yourself, you got a big enough fan base to beat nobody voting. That's
Mm-hmm.
where some of these
Right.
people can win the vote. Um, you included. We're about to get to you in a second. Grab City. That's Phil and Reg. Righteous Reg. Ooh, they blew Cornette out the water. I won't
Well, that's
lie.
good.
I
Yeah.
won't lie to you. We laughed about it on the post too.
Yeah.
Phil came through. Shout out to both of these guys.
Yeah.
And shout out to the music as well. But Phil said, "Yo, it's actually hilarious. We're going against Cornette," and I feel him. Two guys from the hood, both black guys, against the guy that most people would say, I mean, racist. Got caught saying racist things. I guess you could.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess you could say maybe he's not, maybe he isn't. You could debate that, but
That's a big win for morale too, bro.
they laughed about it. I laughed about it, and it was the one time in this podcast outside of when Elite Mob goes, because I'm biased towards us going right. Um,
Yeah.
Even with you, I try to avoid it. Even though you're part of the team, like I'll let you swing over there, we'll swing together over here. I gotta
Yeah.
try to stay neutral, right? But I told Phil on that, man. I was supposed to be unbiased, but I hope y'all kill him.
Yeah.
like, like it's warranted. But yeah, that happened. I would like to, don't get me wrong. I still will work with Cornette and would
Yeah.
love to tell him some of the things I feel and see what you like to say. I won't jump through the computer on him, I promise. Um, next match, we had Wrestle Talk. They the boys again, the UK boys,
Yeah.
they blew out the Hall of Fame podcast. Booker T.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean that
Wow.
was probably the one post. A lot of people talk trash under it too.
Oh, really?
I
I
mean,
got to go back and look
like
then.
a lot of other people just lost, but they came for Booker on that post.
Mm.
I decided, I ain't coming for Booker no more. I just leave the politics alone and stick to the things I want to talk about.
Hey,
Uh,
just real
yeah,
quick, can you hear my neighbors yelling in the background?
nope, not at all.
Okay, good. I can
Doesn't
hear
mean
it right
somebody
now,
else
but
won't, but
there's
I can't hear it.
a bunch of ghetto voices come through.
Yeah, no. Um, Junkies, these are big upsets right here. So Junkies destroyed Busted Open after losing for the first 8 hours. Um,
Junkie.
Junkies podcast, they got a good following. Shout out to them. Another smaller podcast. Real good
It's not.
promotion.
It's not
Um,
that one that bashes AEW all the time, is it?
I honestly, I mean, I have no idea. I'm saying you have to. I would assume some of these podcasts are pro AEW, some are pro WWE, some
Mm.
in between. I'm just trying to leave all that alone and let the people vote. Like for
Okay.
example,
Yeah.
if I was being biased, some of these podcasts would not be in this tournament.
Oh, okay. I see.
So I just,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's just I didn't pick nobody outside of maybe a few. Everybody that someone nominated, I tried to put in there.
Mm.
So if you said the name, I put them in there, whether I liked them or not, whether I had to grit my teeth or not, I
Put
added them.
JD in there.
Who?
JD.
Yeah, he got bombed. First round, he got crushed.
Oh, damn. Good.
We'll do that. Like I said, we'll do that interview later. He got destroyed first round. But yeah, he was in there. I didn't do no biased shit that didn't put nobody. I added all the ones I personally hate. I added those ones to make sure they was there because I knew those names. I don't like you. Let me see what other people feel. Right. But he got bombed.
Yeah.
I will still work with JD if you ever want to work with us. Feel free to come debate your bullshit. Once again, we won't jump through the computer. We will disagree with you though. Perched on the top rope, they knocked out Swerve. Swerve strictly
Damn.
knee in the third round. Swerve's house got burnt without Hangman being there. So
Damn.
they took him out.
Damn.
Shout out to Perch on the top rope. Like I said, some of these people might not be as big, but
Yeah.
they're
I think
willing
I've
to.
heard of them before.
Oh no, they're pretty big.
Yeah.
They they also promote themselves. So at the end of the day, that's once again what I told you. A lot of these things come down to. Um, the last few matches, let's breeze through. So we got main event shout out to EVP again. He beat Behind the Curtain. That was a good win. Behind the Curtain, big pod didn't really promote themselves that much. Their Twitter page is actually tiny compared to their YouTube page, so I don't even know if that helped them if they would have promoted it. And that's the page I could find. Maybe they got a bigger one. This matchup was one of my favorites because I like both of them. I thought Drew and Juice would pull it out personally. With no promotion from Hey AEW. RJ's liked the tweets and stuff. Not too much promotion. He beat them by a little bit. I want to say it's like a 50-something, 40-something, with no promotion, and they promoted a little bit. But I do believe they'll be at like a top they'll be like a top 20 podcast ASAP. They know what they're doing. They got good chemistry. They also not reaches, so I regardless, I think they'll be all right. Personally, I like them better than Hey AEW. Like Hey AEW is like more like an interview.
Yeah.
But I like the information maybe a little bit more than what RJ does. But I absolutely love both of them. But Hey AEW took the win there. Friendo, Steven Larson again. That's their third podcast. Knocked out the Great One. That's a huge.
Oh yeah, I know the Great One.
Yep. Beat him up easily. Like didn't have engagement from him. They engaged. They won that like 90 to something. It was bad. More than 90. It was like 93, 94 to whatever the hell the rest is.
Gotta promote those posts.
Yep. Because if not, if someone promotes, he gets his fans to vote, and you don't have nobody voting. In that scenario, it don't matter if you have more fans, you have nobody voting. The only other two matches that was done, or three. All right, I'm gonna save a special one for last, and there's still 4 matches still going that won't be done till later today. The first thing, Graps TV. Shout out to Graps. First of all, I gotta say it. Pick a struggle. I love those clips when he drops those pick a struggle things. I can relate to that fully. But they took out Shivani. WHW.
Really? That's a hard lose.
49.
How much?
51 to 49.
Oh, that's close.
Tightest matchup, round 3. Pick a struggle, Shivani, because Graps just gave you one. So shout out to Graps TV. Definitely follow them on all media platforms, especially on the YouTube. Yeah, definitely enjoy the content. CWK, which is Cruising with Kayfabe. Our podcast again. They took out the monster, the solo monster. I know you know him.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, been fighting with JD for like past couple of months. I think.
Has he?
They're co-hosts. I think maybe. I think they're doing content together, or they're beefing. I don't. JD's fighting with everybody. All right, but either way,
killing, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, the solo monster, however he pronounces it.
Solo monster.
Pick a struggle. Cruising with Kayfabe knocked you out the park. Just pick a struggle. And the last one of the day. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's 5 that will finish tomorrow. We're not gonna worry about them right now. We'll add them in on round 4. That guy took. I was talking about earlier. I don't know if you know him. I think we was talking about earlier. Took Timbo.
Who did he beat?
Took Timbo.
Who did Timbo beat?
I don't know who he beat, but he stone cold stunned Austin.
Steve Austin.
You stone cold stunned his ass up the arena.
And an RKO on top. Yeah.
But yeah, it was. It's up for debate as one of the biggest upsets in the whole tournament.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Well, I promoted myself, so it got pretty close there for a second. So I know people were just seeing the name Steve Austin, definitely voting, but Steve Austin didn't share. But
yeah, but
see, just off of name value alone, he almost won.
Votes, yeah. And he also, you got to remember, there was, I think, 8 1 seeds that didn't have a match till round 3.
And he was
Bro,
one of them.
6 of them lost in round 3. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
The 8 motherfuckers that sat there all the way to round 3 with no matches,
They all lost.
2 of them went forward.
Oh, 2 of them. Okay.
6 of them lost. I have to give you an example. Austin lost. Busted Open lost. The Click with Kevin Nash lost. They just all got buried. Like that, all of them got buried. It didn't even make sense. But the way that I look into it is, it says a few things. The world is ready for new stuff if you promote yourself. Because if you promote your stuff, see, they'll vote for you. Obviously not on a large scale. You still got to compete. But I think that some of those votes is people are ready for something new. So if you're gonna give them something new that's good and they relate to it, I think they are willing to jump on your channel. So obviously not sharing their shit factors a lot into it, because you share it, you got the groupies that probably would have voted you to a win. But without you sharing it, there wasn't enough groupies to give you the win.
All right.
You would think the name Stone Cold next to Took Timbo, people are just clicking. Stone Cold, right?
Yeah, for real. I'm not even sour about that, but yeah.
I wouldn't be mad. Like, if I'm going against Stone Cold, I'm looking like shit. If I get 1 vote, I'm good. I got one person that believes in me, right? But the fact that if 50 people vote,
we need to bring that up.
Yeah, naturally you would think 48 of these motherfuckers is voting for Austin.
Yeah. I wonder how many votes it got total.
I don't know. You'd have
Kind
to
of look.
It's like the thing with all those voting polls, they was like so all over the place. Some of them voting polls got 10 votes. 10.
Yeah. Me and Steve Austin, we got 50.
Yeah.
We got 50 votes.
So. Yeah, that's a good amount of votes.
And it was only 59% to 41%. So it almost got close. So.
Think like this. And there's 70 people in there now. It picked up too.
Sweet.
All 70 people.
Hello, everybody.
We hope you like what we've been doing here. But you would just think, if 50 people vote and the name you're looking at is you versus Austin, I would guess what you get, 3, 5 maybe.
So I had about 30 people who believed in me.
So so you do the math, right? Austin should naturally just be able to, just the name alone, be able to beat you.
Oh, I agree with that.
But this what comes down to, you push yourself, people will believe it. So you just gotta push yourself. You get your fans. That's it.
Push yourself. You believe in yourself. You're gonna go through.
Yeah. And that goes for everybody that's listening. Whatever you decide you're trying to do, you just gotta push it. People will believe in it once they see you believe in it.
Yeah. Got some good friends out there. Yeah.
For sure. That's anybody of y'all 70 people that's in there. Does anybody have any specific questions? At this point, we don't even care if they're wrestling related. You got a question for Took, you got a question for me.
Just go in there, please.
Yeah, throw it out there. If not, we'll probably be off soon. You obviously can rewind this once you go on the YouTube after and see what we talked about earlier. But anything you want to ask, doesn't matter if we already talked about it, we will answer. There's a lot of yous in there. Don't be quiet. Don't think your question is too small. Anything you want to ask, shoot away.
You could ask me my favorite color, literally, and I will answer it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's what I mean. There's no stipulations of what you can and can't ask right now. Unless let me take that back. There's certain things you should know, common sense wise, you just can't say. Other than that,
don't go crazy. But
like don't ask me something I can't
answer. So is that it for round 3?
Yeah, round 3. Well, the matches that are underway. And
how come I'm always last, bro?
No, you're not last. There's still 5 matches going on right now.
Oh, okay. It seems like it was.
Yeah, it's the way that it goes.
Yeah.
I don't want to, until I see you online, I don't put your match up. So say if I see you active at 8 in the morning, I might drop it. Because I see you there and they're there. if you're not on till 5 in the afternoon, I don't want to drop it on you at noontime and somebody gets like a super head start on you, and then before you get to see it. So that's kind of why I make sure that you see. I send you the inbox. I'm gonna drop it. I did that for everybody else too. Like
Okay.
Grabs, any of them will tell you. Like I'll let them know before I drop it.
Don't give me any special privileges, but yeah.
Nah, no special privileges because you don't need it. You took down fucking Austin, bro. There's no more privileges for you. All
I
right.
wish I had 2 beer cans right now to smash
Yeah.
together. But
Maybe. Yeah.
done.
When I
Yeah.
come to Texas, we'll make sure we get that video.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna do that. Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
The
That's like
only
tradition over here in Texas.
For sure.
Yeah.
Definitely got to hit some barbecue instantly. I'm trying to jump off the plane straight to a barbecue, like
Alright, but
some brisket instantly. I mean, um,
we go around my area, there's a place called Soul Man's that's really good. It
you already
got some
sold
of the
me.
best barbecue ever.
Oh,
Best barbecue sauce. Ooh,
the fact
yeah.
it starts with soul, you already sold me.
Yeah,
Right?
it's got plenty of soul. Yeah.
Yeah. So, as far as the matches, we gonna have fun out there. But as far as the
Yeah.
matchups left for round 3, before y'all heavy hitters get to round 4, um, we have Ibu, which right now is putting a beating on Slate Rock without even touching the post. And Slate Rock's a big account. I think
Yeah.
Ibu is going to be a big problem in
Yeah.
this event.
He'd probably be in the championship.
He's
Yeah.
definitely one of I'd say one of the favorites. Fightful and Chair Shot. Last time I seen they was in a pretty good fight. Chair Shot was winning though.
Hmm.
But that last time I seen it was like 60-40. Can go either way. Now we have the Elite Mob. You know them guys.
A little bit.
Only about 20 votes. But as of now, they're up like I want to say 80% on Sportskeeda, which
Did you
honestly,
send that one to the group
I,
chat?
I think so. I'll resend it again.
Please do.
That could go two ways. Sportskeeda shares that, they throw us on an island and choke us out and bury us. Right?
Yeah. Right.
Don't see it, there's no coming back from it. They lost. We're killing them right now. Some of these teams I ain't even comfortable beating, but I'm gonna just take the win and just cheer it on. Mhm.
Heck yeah.
Um, the
Right.
next one, there was actually 32 matches in round 3 too, just so you know. Um,
Ooh.
yeah, because there was bye weeks waiting for round 2 and bye weeks waiting for round 3. Because once again, remember it was bracketed by YouTube subscribers, so they
Mm.
bye week 2, bye week 3. Some of them didn't even have a match till week 3. Some
Right.
players won week 1 and advanced to week 3. The way that the bracket went was a little crazy, but I just once I put it in that they didn't give me no control. I couldn't even change the names. Mhm. But the Raw Report, which is the WWE podcast, I believe, with Not Sam, going against Going in Raw. That's Steven Lawson. Last time I checked, that's pretty close, but I believe Steven Lawson are winning that. If they win that and I think they already won the other one. Yeah, if they win that one, they'll have 3 podcasts still alive in round 4. Like they're by far the dominance right now because they've won every round by 70% or better. And they have 3 podcasts left. Now the last one is BTT, which is the coach behind the Turnbuckle Studios. Shout out to them. Big shout out to Coach. They're going against Inside the Ropes. That's a pretty close matchup. Last time I checked, BTT was winning, but those matchups are all still going. I was gonna drop some matchups tonight. I chose not to. When these matchups end first thing in the morning, I'm gonna start dropping round 4, starting with who's active online first.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sharing a post
No, you good, bro.
for us.
That's honestly that's it. Unless you have anything else, man, I'm ready to eat, call it a night soon. Unless anybody got some questions.
Yeah. Wait, maybe a couple more minutes. If we don't see any questions, we'll go ahead and log off.
Sure. And hold on 1 second. All right. We have questions right here in the group chat. So Ayala Clary, I know you know her from
Yeah.
yeah. She said, in your opinion, who's gonna win the Hot Foundation? Man and woman.
I'm gonna say Hangman for men's, and I'm still going with Jamie Hayter for the women's. So, and we'll find out about the women's tomorrow. So, pretty excited about that match.
I'm gonna say, for the sake of just being different, I'm gonna say Osprey wins the men's, and I'm gonna say Mercedes wins the women's. I don't think she wins the title.
Right.
But I believe that she'll win the whole one. That would
Okay.
be what I would
Yeah.
say. After that, somebody else answered. That's actually Goldman. He just told her his opinion. He said Mercedes woman, Osprey man.
Mm.
Same thing I just said. I do also, one thing I like about AEW recently, both of them could go either way.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, they really can. Yeah.
It's not like a clear cut situation there. Like, no disrespect. You seen the card I picked night 1, 7-0. Night
Okada?
2, night 2, 4-3, which is the other thing. So you're saying I went 11-3. I've never been that good picking my AEW matches.
Oh, for predictions, yeah. Yeah.
A little bit more predictable, you know. So I think that sometimes there's been times where I feel like AEW has been on the predictable tip, especially with a few of their
You
earlier.
think so, and then it doesn't end up
No,
playing out though.
what I was gonna say, in their earlier tournaments, I picked
Oh
was
yeah.
kind of knew what was gonna happen.
Mm.
He had more filler. I think that lately he's been avoiding filler. What I mean by filler, I don't want to
Yeah.
disrespect wrestlers, but I mean like wrestlers, will eat a pin. Right? I think he's been avoiding that more and upsetting that more. Meaning, when you think you know that, it's been reversed recently. So I do believe they've been good with that. Um, where sometimes companies become a little too predictable and they're okay with that. I don't think AEW does that much, even though I've seen some posts recently swearing they know the outcomes of tournaments, even though now a couple weeks later they're wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I
That's
mean,
why you never, when you post something, you can't say it like it's a definite thing if it hasn't happened yet. Obviously, I mean
that's
that's why I do my post. I don't say, hey, it's a definite thing. So and so's winning. I'm just going, hey, my opinion, or this is what I think. So,
yeah. I think
and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Who cares?
yeah, doesn't matter. People are wrong all the time. People make
It's
bets every
the
day.
same.
Do they all win? No, people are wrong all the time, right?
Yeah.
Probably more wrong than right. But at the end of the day, what it comes down to is, especially in wrestling, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? It's like, for example, first let me say this. Wrestling, never speak in definites. It's never definite.
No,
Never. It just never is, right? Um, so when someone tells me AJ Styles will never leave the WWE,
can't say that.
I bet you said that about Edge 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Now he's not
Right.
Edge no more, right? And he left. Right.
Yeah.
So and now you're talking about a guy that owns his name and has history over there. Copeland had no history over there. He had a friend over there, right?
Yeah.
Probably had a friend and someone that told him, "We got you." That's it. Like you
Now
talk
he's
about
got some good history. Yeah.
someone that has a whole fucking support system over there. Young
Yeah.
Buck, Good Brothers, most likely, New Japan, Bullet Club. Like, you literally, like, bro, it's probably arguable. AJ Styles got more friends in AEW than he has in WWE.
True that. Yeah.
I mean,
That's a fact, actually. Yeah.
so at the end of the day, right? When you tell me it's no way, he said he won't. Wrestlers lie all the time, man.
Yeah.
It also doesn't mean when he signed that contract a couple years ago.
Sometimes they have to lie to cover their own ass.
But
So,
it doesn't even mean you're not telling the truth. It's like when a football player knows he wants to play 6 years, right? And
yeah,
the team that he loves, that he's been with, signs him for 3 years. He says he wants to retire with you, right? But at the end of those 3 years, you don't want to sign him, and another team will. You think he's not willing to go?
of
Tom
course not.
Brady played for a different team. Peyton Manning played
Yeah,
for a different team. Joe
right.
Montana played for a different team. Jerry
Yeah,
Rice played for a different team. So my point when you're breaking this down, when someone signs a contract, they probably believe everything they're saying. That doesn't mean when that
yeah,
contract expires, their mind don't change.
right.
That's you know what I'm
You
saying.
don't
So
know what's going to happen down the
so,
road. You know.
so when it
Yeah.
comes to wrestling, don't ever speak in definites. It's
No.
like saying Kenny Omega will never leave AEW. How do you know?
Right. Yeah.
You can say
Same way.
he's loyal, right? You see, and I don't think, especially when you see his interviews, you don't get the vibe he's trying to leave. You get the vibe like that's family, right? So
Yeah.
you're not getting weird vibes from him. But that doesn't mean that if he was a free agent and they offered him more money and guaranteed him things that he would never do it. You can never say that, right?
Never say never.
You can say, hey, look, I'll give you 95 or even 99% chance. I might even give you 99.9. Kenny Omega would always prefer to stay with AEW. But you know what that
Right.
0.1% chance is? It's a 0.1% chance. It could happen.
All right. Okay. Got any more questions in the group?
In the group, nope. They answered and they never came into here, so I'm not even sure if they seen you answer them. I wrote in there join in because we was answering them.
Okay.
Bottom line, we got 75 people in there right now watching.
Nice.
Whether they want to answer questions or not, hey, look,
Yeah.
I'll send you the thing. Hold on one second. So anything you want to jump off, there's you still got 70 plus people's attention, bro. You
Yeah.
drop
I
whatever.
mean, we pretty much hit all our main topics to
Yeah,
talk about. So
I don't think honestly there's much more you need to talk about. I'm just telling you, if you want to, you got the
yeah.
audience.
let me let me think about it. Hold on.
And I'm sending you that right now. We'll be converting these soon once we figure it out. Yeah, I caught myself with like the worst face possible in that picture. It's crazy. And it's actually 72 right now.
Tony Khan said that tomorrow, New Orleans FTR returns. So we'll see FTR on Dynamite. So cool.
No, they're actually coming out there. So we might see
Yeah,
Copeland return too.
I hope so.
I don't think it'll be off TV soon.
I think I hope he returns with Christian.
I hope they just keep throwing Doc vignettes where I get the feeling that the Bruce coming.
That'd be cool too.
Or a
Yeah.
couple vignettes, or like bloodbath someone, or like
Oh, yeah.
bloodbath them. I think if you bloodbath FDR tomorrow,
That would be sick.
that right there would that'd be enough for me. I'll be happy with life after I see that. Maybe
Man,
just
that'd be fun.
bloodbath them and have Gangrel at the top of the thing with the chalice that he drinks
Yeah.
out of. Don't even bring Edge and Christian. Just have him walk out and leave. Just walk out
Yeah.
and walk back. You get bloodbath. I'll be
Yeah.
fully entertained.
I'll give that show a 10 out of 10 if that happens.
Yeah, I give
Yeah.
it a 10 out of 10, even if I hate everything else. I give it a 10 out of 10. But
Yeah, so we got something else for Dynamite tomorrow.
yeah,
It was
we got
just probably a couple more things maybe announced tomorrow. So,
yeah.
but
Probably
I was
do
glad
the
that Tony Khan just recently, about 30 minutes ago, he added something else to the card so that we know,
I'm gonna say
appreciated that.
most likely tomorrow he adds a bunch of stuff.
Right.
But
It
like
could. Yeah.
you said earlier, I'm not opposed to you not announcing everything. It's surprising me. No, I'll be out there in a minute. But I'm not opposed to them not leaking everything and hitting us with some surprises. I miss surprises in wrestling.
Yeah.
like that was like a big part of what brings the nostalgia to me.
Growing up and stuff, yeah.
Yeah,
Never
so
knew when somebody was gonna come back because, I mean, internet wasn't as big as it is now.
yes,
And I remember those days.
yeah. So just
Be
say,
watching a random Raw or something, and I'll give like Edge for example.
yeah, you don't know what's gonna happen.
Whoa,
They
yeah,
might have told you Edge is speaking. That was their promotion. Like, didn't tell you what was going on. So I just look at it like, if Tony was to do 3 promoted matches and not tell us the rest,
that's
and
awesome. Yeah,
but was doing, not doing like filler shit, but you was doing ill stuff, I don't
mhm,
need to know, my brother.
yeah.
I mean, like, just
I'm
show me.
sure we'll see like Hurt Syndicate tomorrow or something. Yeah,
Well, yeah.
yeah,
I think that we touched on this a little bit, but he's using all his star power at his disposal nowadays. Before, I think that certain talent touched on this too, wasn't allowing him to do star versus star and somebody loses. So we was getting like star versus filling because some of these guys weren't willing to do business. It's like you don't want to lose, you want to win. Well, this guy's frustrated because you always want to win. He don't want to lose. Now you got this problem. I think there was
yeah.
a lot of that going on. So when there was a lot of,
Now it's going away. So
because like here's the thing, put your foot down. People gotta lose.
yeah, no
So
matter who you are. Yeah,
So it ain't about checking nobody. It's about
mm,
having people around you that know it's a win or lose game. When you tell me I lose, I lose. When you tell me I win, I win. If I have a good idea, I pitch it in. Maybe you like it and we run to the moon. Maybe you don't. But I
yeah,
can't tell you I'm not losing. And I'm not saying anybody did say that. But I'm saying that rumors came out that they were saying that,
yeah.
and the
Mhm.
TV reflected people was doing that.
Yeah,
That's my perspective.
they kind of played hand in hand. You saw it. You put two and two together. Yeah,
Because you notice, I don't want to pull people's beans out there, but you notice a lot of time you would expect Malachi Black to be wrestling, Buddy or Brody went and took the pin when it didn't make
yeah,
sense. It's
right.
because,
No,
so when people say you wouldn't take pins and you do these interviews and say it wasn't true and all, that's fine. I seen a bunch of matches I think was made for you, and you didn't do the match. Your man's lost. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's got to
So,
be frustrating for the booker. Like,
but I
hey,
also I also think that might be why Buddy Matthews got the raise and the big
mm,
deal after for 6 years or whatever it was, because he's willing to play ball. He'll lose.
yeah,
He'll win. I think Buddy Matthews deserves to get pushed
yeah.
through the
So,
roof.
same with Brody King. To be honest with you. Yeah,
I think both of them guys,
yeah,
for different reasons, are amazing. But
yeah.
what I mean is Buddy is built in that Kenny Omega cloth. Like he's like you could put him with Osprey in them. He can do he like
Yeah.
has that wrestling capability. You could
Right.
put him with any one of them, he's on their level. I have no question to saying he is, right? Brody's more brute and he's amazing, but he's a big guy, right? He
Yeah.
can fly a little bit, but the technical ability that what Buddy can do,
Already has. Yeah.
yeah, like he's a Kenny Omega. He just never got the chance to be Kenny Omega. So
Right.
if you decided to push Buddy Matthews through the roof, send him to New Japan, and you wanted to make him a heavyweight champion, he
Do
absolutely
it.
has everything. He has
Yeah.
everything to
Do
do it.
it. Yeah. And I hope he heals up soon too. And gets
Yeah.
back.
I'm
Um.
just I'm happy he got his money and that he's locked in for a while. I just
Yeah.
hope they give him his chance sooner because I don't think he's someone like I feel like he got past that. I'm a WWE guy you can't trust. He's past that. He got the second contract. It's time.
Yeah.
Push. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like the ones that wasn't necessarily, you know, and Tony did just say Tony didn't trust them or wasn't sure. They didn't get a second contract. Go through it.
Yeah.
Mero,
Yeah.
Malachi,
Yeah. Right.
Buddy got the second contract.
Yeah.
So he
Malachi
left
didn't.
that bracket. You clearly
Mhm.
trust him because you
Same rumor about Miro too, right? He didn't want to lose or something like that.
see. I didn't want to say it, but those are two of the guys that
Yeah.
they said
Yeah.
didn't want to lose. And
and
now
now both
I
of them
can't
are
say it
over.
was true.
Yeah,
All I can say is TV kind of looked like it was true because
yeah.
these
Because
matches.
those guys just disappeared sometimes without
Because you expect
any.
Malachi to have a match, but Buddy takes it. You
Yeah.
expect Malachi to be in a tournament, Buddy takes it, or Brody takes it.
And here's
And
Tony
now,
Khan getting heat because apparently he's a bad booker. He's not, but they were trying to say he is because we haven't seen these certain people. It's like
Buddy does it. The way
probably
I
not Tony Khan's fault.
look at it
Yeah,
with a few of these guys, right or wrong. And remember, I'm a fan of these guys, so I'm
yeah,
not taking this personal with them. I don't
yeah,
want people to think that. I'm not, because you have reasons to not want to do business and to do business. I'm not speaking on that. What I'm saying is there was times I know for sure it looked like Malachi Black would be in the tournament and he
mm,
probably wasn't gonna win. So instead it looked like one of the other guys was put in the tournament.
yeah.
You know what
Correct.
I'm saying? That's one thing. Second thing is with Mero, that definitely was happening. No disrespect to Mero, and you pick
He
what
was going through some hard things
he was
personally. So
definitely turning down creative. 100%.
mm,
I mean, so you take however you want with a grain of salt. That's what he needs to stay away from. Like, bro, you don't want somebody you're paying millions of dollars a year or even 1 million. And when you say I need you to lose, it's a problem. Motherfucker, I'm paying you well. This should not
yeah,
be a question.
for
It's like
real.
casting you for Game of Thrones and saying you're dying season 3. Who the hell are you? I'm
Yeah,
the boss.
right,
You know what I'm saying? So greener pastures. You know what I'm saying? He did the best job he could do releasing all of them and bringing in people that wanted to be there.
right. We talked
That's
about that earlier. Yeah.
yeah, that's just the truth.
Uh, Greg Goldman says Mercedes for the women and Osprey for the men. So
Yeah,
exactly what you said. So yeah,
yeah, that's that Greg. That's we on the same thing. Took
yeah.
his literally, he's on the other echelon, both
Yeah.
opposites. But the good part about this is I think both of these matches could go either way. We touched on this.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure. I still think that too, but I just got probably personal favorites. A little biased.
Not a problem with that.
Yeah.
I'm a little biased with Mercedes. I told you everybody wanted to lose in Boston. I wasn't having that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm gonna riot it if she lost in Boston. And so, eh, bottom line, that is what it is. People are gonna have their favorites. Not a big deal. As long as it don't get disrespectful over people's opinions, who gives a fuck?
Ooh, okay. Well,
Well, it's
I
that
think
time to sign out.
yeah, I'm
So
getting pretty tired myself.
we need all your social medias. Pile them on. Let them know what to follow. Let them know what you need.
At Took Timbo on X, you follow me on there, and at Took Timbo on YouTube as well. The same. So yeah. So follow me on both those platforms. Those are really the only two I got going on right now. So
And Chuck also got I spill the beans. Chuck got a new segment coming soon, but we'll update you on that soon. We
yeah,
also got a few more things coming soon. And Greg said he wouldn't mind Hanger. That's the great thing about
good.
AEW. Are you gonna be mad if it's Osprey or Hangman? Probably
No,
not.
I wouldn't be mad either way. Actually.
It's a win-win.
Right.
Only other things I would say is like and subscribe all the videos on YouTube, catch up on the things you missed. Follow, like you said, at Timbo, Mob Squad 508 on Twitter. Um, any other questions? Send over to DMs. If you do want to be added to our group chat, we have an Elite Mob group chat. Anybody in there is the Elite Mob. It's not just us. The Elite Mob is supporters of
Yep.
AEW. So anybody that wants to be added, reach out to Took Timbo or myself or Turnbuckle TG at Turnbuckle TG. He got the kids today,
Right.
not available. But other than that, everybody make sure you have a blessed night. And I'm ready to sign out unless you have any other words, Tuck.
Nope. I'm going to give this podcast Orange Cassidy.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna give it an Orange Cassidy with you.
Yeah.
And we'll say
All right.
we'll say one thing because I just seen it pop up. I don't know if you're familiar with Lucha Blog. Lucha Blog's been around since they've been doing dirt sheets since there was like AOL, I think. It's been a while. But they dropped, like a long time. They dropped the AEW ROH Lucha Libre flyer. It says that they're running the CMLL bonus matches everywhere except for 2 shows. So they have some bonus matches going on with it too. One of them is La Catalina. She's one of my favorites. I don't know if you're familiar with her. But they're already promoting it. They have a couple of matches being promoted for the AEW ROH. I'm hoping that this branches off and ROH gets some more movement along the front. But it's good to see. Reason why I brought it up, it is good to see CMLL, LL promote ROH by itself, just ROH. I like to see that. But I'm ready to go, my brother.
Man, me too, man. Take care. Thanks everybody for watching. Really appreciate you all. Have a good night, everyone, and we'll be ready for Dynamite.
Yep. And we give all of you that tuned in the Orange Cassidy. Enjoy your night.
Absolutely.